this the one you're talking about?
No, that's one we have.
Okay. The other one that we're trying to pull up keeps getting commercials and keeps getting blocked. So I don't know.
I mean, there was no issues. I sent it yesterday at like 3:00.
Yeah. Apparently today people don't like it.
I have an idea. You do have, I didn't look over it with you, but the Chris Christie, check that out too. The mic, please. Just let me know, Joe, when you see it.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
It's an Instagram.
And could you do me one more favor?
What?
Could you go back and check the email for that video we've been looking that's been spinning? I just sent you a new one just in case to see if it'll work.
Oh, the same one though?
Same.
I'll
It's
try
it's just tell me
Okay.
right now. I'm curious.
Okay.
I'm convinced you're gonna have to turn that off, Lizzie.
I just did.
Oh, okay, thank you. Hey, good morning, everybody. Thanks for liking, subscribing, sharing the show.
Let's just show everybody.
What do you mean?
We're going to show everybody what it's doing.
I'm also on all of them.
I love it.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll just have to show that. We know what it says.
So I'll leave it up there, and when we talk about it, we can talk about this.
Yeah, you could. We might call it back up.
And we can call out X and Elon Musk.
Yeah.
Damn, Elon.
Hey, guys, thanks for liking, subscribing, sharing the show, letting people know on all of our platforms, canceltheshow.com. Crazy stuff going on today.
Absolutely.
Eric Johnson coming in? Is that
Eric
allegedly?
Johnson is coming in. And I just saw that he had posted on Facebook about a half an hour ago, probably when he was coming here, a tree sniffer. He has deer in his yard. So he literally took a picture of a tree sniffer.
A tree sniffer.
A tree sniffer. Mm-hmm. On his way in.
He shouldn't be going to Kansas City this weekend.
I know. Is Kansas City supposed to have bad weather?
Well, we are.
That's true.
Missouri is.
Yeah,
starting tomorrow. I mean,
Yeah.
but once again, it's like Missouri all the time. 1 degree can depend ice, snow,
Yes.
snow ice.
Mm-hmm.
So I call it snice, which isn't so nice.
That's right. I mean, heck, you cannot have any snow and just have like a little layer of ice and it will make you, drive for 5 hours to get home.
I feel sorry for Democrats. I really do.
You do?
Yeah. Could you imagine how horrible they must feel? I mean, seriously, if you wake up as a Democrat knowing that Joe Biden's your president,
Mm-hmm.
that you have not one policy issue that works,
Correct. Not one.
that all your leaders are losers,
Yeah.
that you'd have to swallow your pride extra than the average human to come over from the dark side to the light side,
Yes.
to go from Darth Vader to Luke Skywalker.
That's a funny analogy.
I mean, it is.
The problem is Darth Vader thinks that he's Luke Skywalker.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, I honest to God feel bad for Democrats. And I have Democrat friends who are intelligent, book smart people. But when it comes to common sense, they lack in regards to what's going on because unless it's a pride issue.
It has to be a
Oh my God, there's not a person in America who should be voting for Joe Biden
no.
or whomever the other candidate is, the puppet can. It's like, oh,
Like, come on, people.
nobody should cast a vote for DeSantis or Haley either.
No.
I feel very bad. I don't feel bad for Haley because she is who she is.
Yeah, she is.
I mean,
that way for a
and she's
long
never
time.
tried to hide. She is who she is.
Yeah,
The guy I feel bad for is poor little Ronnie.
I know. Gosh, poor little Ronnie. It does. You do after seeing him yesterday.
He has destroyed himself.
He really has. And did you see he went into a commercial last night and he did one of those smiles? And I busted up laughing, thinking Vic could do that smile. He could do that smile. Oh, like it was a.
But the amount of money that they're paying for stupid consultants, and most of these consultants are flat out idiots, and they make a ton of money.
Yeah.
I'm a campaign manager.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. Who the hell's working with DeSantis?
Yeah,
God, that has just been a disaster. Disaster.
it really has. He's ruined it.
That looks like, you know what that look that Joe just popped up? It looks like a guy who's tired.
Yeah.
He's defeated.
Mm-hmm.
Get me out of here, mommy.
Yeah.
Mommy.
He did that
Mommy.
same look last night.
I just want my golf course.
Oh,
Was the money worth it?
yeah.
I mean,
He does. He looks like he's
that's
about
a
ready to scare
that's a-
shitless.
that's a man. It's like, please don't whip me again, Donald Trump. don't whip me again. Donald's like, bend over. No, not another one. Oh no.
Stephanie says he looks constipated. He does. He looks like he's about ready to poop in his pants. I mean, it's sad. Oh,
No, another one.
yeah.
I'm gonna get another ass whip tonight.
Ah.
Mm, 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 mm.
And this spam thing, I'm laughing so hard. Some guy on here is like, or Ethel is on our spamming our page, and it's talking about diarrhea and constipation.
Yeah, baby.
So she must have realized that she watched Ron DeSantis last night. Spammers right on time. Right on time.
I took care of it.
All right, let's go ahead and start the show. We're getting things rocking right. Just poor Ronnie.
Poor Ronnie.
Yo, you want some cancel this to go? That's what they would say at Cane's.
Cane's, yeah.
Yeah.
Yo.
Yo, you want some chicken to go? Yo, you want some Liz to go? Anybody ever call you Liz?
Yeah.
Liz, then
Yeah, I
Lizzie.
call Liz a lot, which is totally fine. Just don't call me Beth. Elizabeth
Beth?
is good. Lizzie's good. Liz is good. Just don't call me Beth.
All right.
Yeah. Anything else?
Elizabeth.
Beth.
All right. I'm Vic Faust. That's Lizzie Sparks. Projo in the house as well. It is Thursday. It is January 11th, 1/1/24. Glad to be with you today. Ready to rock and roll as we normally do Monday through Friday, 8 to 10 a.m. Central and all the time on our website. CancelThisShow.com. You can get all of our original content on our website as well. Today's episode 286 already. We do this every day. We appreciate you guys. News, headlines, politics, cancel culture, education, interviews from all over the country, business, entertainment, you name it. We do it. Eric Johnson coming in to join us as well today because he will not be with us tomorrow. He's got band camp this weekend in Kansas City.
Yes, he does.
And I'm hearing there's storms in the Midwest.
Yeah.
I know we've got listeners all over the country. And of course, there could be a massive storm. We'll see what happens with all of that. We do want to say good morning and thank you to our partners who support us here. We're always looking for new partners as well, by the way. The people that we have in joint, that's why they've stuck with us so long. And we're grateful for that. Amini's in the Chesterfield Valley in St. Louis. And you can get their stuff delivered to you, even if you live in a different spot. The health benefits of the infrared saunas are coming mainstream now. They're saltwater hot tubs. Check it out as well. Also, experienced real estate partners, Kathy Hobig Strick, Steve Strick. You're not going to find a better real estate mortgage team than them, plus New Age Health and Wellness. Route 66 Cannabis, 5 locations throughout the St. Louis, Missouri area. You're good, Eric. You're fine. Strategic Air Services, the premier private transportation providers in all things aviation. From aircraft management to concierge services and acquisition, that's where we broadcast live out of. WeQuip will be here a little bit later in the show. Paige Miesle, and of course, Winty's in the Chesterfield Valley. By the way, there's a big deal that's coming up Saturday night that involves Winty's. Ben, one of the owners, is doing everything they can to find out if it's legal to show the Chiefs game. This is what's crazy. This is what's happened to America in 2024. And it's total crap. They have put the game on Peacock. The Chiefs, Dolphins on Peacock, and bar owners, they're trying to figure out if they can legally show it. Now they can get it because Fox 2, the local affiliate in St. Louis, they did a story with Leicester. It's a very popular place, good place, over by my house. The bar owner's like, we can't get it. You can't freaking watch the Chiefs and the Dolphins. No. Even at bars. So Ben says he's trying to take care of it. He's on a flight to the Bahamas right now, but he's like, I'm trying to find out if it's legal to show the freaking Chiefs Dolphins.
What is up with the NFL?
And thanks for those advertisers and sponsors.
Who in the hell is stupid enough to put a playoff game in Kansas City with Taylor Swift probably watching on Peacock?
On Peacock.
I can't even take it right now.
Peacock paid $110 million.
I don't care if they paid $1 billion.
$110 million freaking dollars to get the right. And the NFL's like, oh yeah, okay. Where do we sign? Yeah, okay, we'll give it to you.
It's like Spock said, the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. We need to see some damn Chiefs games.
Can you say that again?
The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few.
I like how that came off your.
I don't even know if I said it right, but that's what you know. What I meant.
It was great.
I'm so pissed off about this, and Nick Saban retiring, and what's going on?
And Bill Belichick getting fired this morning. Pete Carroll in Seattle, a longtime great Super Bowl winning coach, retiring. Everything in life is falling apart in 2024.
Sports is out of its head right now
until Donald Trump is reelected as president and saves the NFL.
Man, that's why I'm here.
Saves society.
That's why I'm here.
He stops the Russia-Ukraine war. He stops China-Taiwan issues. He puts up a wall immediately on day 2.
Yes.
All this stuff is going to happen. Inflation goes down. The debt goes down.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You can actually buy a house in the real estate market.
You just keep going. I'm just listening. Yeah. It's like I'm eating donuts in my mind.
Right. Keep
going, man. It's unbelievable. But I want you guys think I'm here because I'm afraid of the snow and the cold. And
I thought that's why.
And I'm leaving for Friday.
Yeah, I thought it was just because of
I'll be here tomorrow too, but I wanted to come today just to talk about last night.
Oh,
and that was before.
Really?
That was before I even saw the debate. Or it wasn't even a debate.
Yeah.
Last night, right?
Right.
Well, there was a debate for second place.
Whatever.
Yeah.
That was it.
And it wasn't even. And here's the deal with that debate.
Eric, you're freaking people out. Eric Johnson normally comes in on Fridays.
Yes.
Yeah.
Eric's here on Thursday. You did not lose a day.
No.
It's all good. This is just a double dose of Eric, a special treat for you.
Yeah. This is so great.
I just see. I love politics, and I've stood true to my word. I am not on the fence for anybody. Trump, DeSantis, Nikki Haley, who. That debate on CNN wasn't even for second place. Second place is whoever he's going to pick for VP.
Oh my God!
It's not either one of them.
Right?
Give me some.
Yeah.
Give me some.
That's right.
That is second.
It's like it doesn't matter.
It was. It was the kids' table. It was if you're at your family's house.
Yeah.
For those of you, you have an adults table.
Mm-hmm.
That's where Trump sits.
Yeah.
And then you have the kids' table.
Yes.
I'm Ron. I'm Nikki.
They were both trying to be.
You're a liar. No, you're a liar.
Yeah, it was like Donald Trump light. It was disrespectful. Can I bottom line this for you?
Please.
DeSantis has done a great job as governor of Florida.
For sure.
Nikki Haley did a good job as governor and as the UN ambassador or the
allegedly.
Yeah.
We don't know what she was doing.
Yeah, we're not sure we agree with that part, but the first part, yeah. Okay.
But she's a Republican and you can't, and she's not, and she might be rhino, and I don't even know what that word totally means in relationship to all this. But
bought and paid for.
Here's the deal. Mm-hmm. What you saw last night, the Republicans, in my mind, last night have officially moved on. They are grassroots. They are populist. They have nothing to do with the old guys anymore. The Bushes of the world, the Jeb Bushes, the DeSantises.
They control DC, Eric.
I know they do. Right now they do. But they don't want, the Republicans don't want it. You could see it in the faces of the people that were watching Trump in that audience last night. Mm-hmm. It's over. If you think that you can come to Washington, D.C. as a mild Republican, you're done. You're cooked.
Well, your milquetoast will show.
Yes.
And I credit Donald Trump for this in 2016 because one thing he did was he divided the sides. You knew what team you were on now. You're either with us or you're against us. And some people love it and some people hate it. Let's listen to some of the excerpts from Donald Trump from last night. We have like 4 or 5, and it's a ton to try to get to. So, Joe, and it throws a lot on Joe's plate. Joe, you just pop up because all that Trump did last night was pretty damn impressive because it was in a controlled setting in Des Moines, Iowa. Yeah. Martha McCallum, Brett Baer. And you know what? As we listen to Donald Trump here, guys, remember when people said that one of the negatives about Donald Trump was he just didn't seem presidential?
Yes.
This man is more presidential than he is flip-flopped.
Yeah.
And this is the new Donald Trump. I'm not kidding. Here's your presidential right now with Donald.
They have chaos now. They have chaos at the border. They have chaos in the military. People are going woke. We have the greatest military in the world, except for the top, where they want to, turn this beautiful thing we built. We beat ISIS, knocked them out. It was supposed to take 4 years. I did it in literally 3 months. It was supposed to take 4 or 5 years. But we have chaos now. Look at today with Hunter Biden going into Congress and just sitting down and the bedlam that's been caused. Today you have chaos. We have, I think, more with Joe Biden. He can't put 2 sentences together, and he's representing us on nuclear weapons with Putin and Xi and all of these very smart people. The media hates when I say they're smart, but let me tell you, they're very smart and they're very cunning. And I think he had very little chaos. I think most of the chaos was caused by the Democrats constantly going after me. They have chaos now.
That's the way.
Yep. That was good stuff right there.
And
I agree.
True.
And I agree. This is definitely the new Donald Trump.
Yeah.
I didn't mind the old Donald Trump that he was tweeting and saying bombastic things, but a lot of people do.
I like this new one.
So you like this one better?
Yeah.
Oh, me too.
Oh.
See,
because he hasn't lost his edge, but it's a controlled fury.
Yes, and people want that. People want the controlled fury.
Yeah.
Like I said before, women in Chesterfield who were liberal Republicans or whatever you want to call them.
Yep.
Here's what they remember when they were going to pull the lever. Grab them in the blank.
You bring that up a lot.
I'm telling you, man, these women.
But he's right about
these
that.
women, they read stuff like, Deeper Shades of Gray or whatever those books are. And that's how they think.
That's the next movie.
Yeah.
Deeper.
But you know, you're right, Eric. They read that
Emphasis
and then
on
act
deeper
holier than
shades.
thou on the soccer field.
Yes.
And
I'm
they're
telling
reading
you.
dirty smut in their bedroom. And then they come to the soccer games.
Give women some credit.
No, but they are
am
true.
giving them credit.
I'm talking to more and more women that acknowledge it.
Yeah.
As long as they look around and know they're in a comfortable room.
No
It's like,
woman.
Am I gonna
no
be
woman.
upset about? Okay.
I don't
Man,
care.
that fucking Trump.
I don't care what you guys say. There's no woman that could walk into a professional NFL locker room and be comfortable with the conversations that guys have with other dudes.
There are a couple. You're right, but there are some.
You're right. There's probably not that many.
Eric,
You're
I need
probably
some.
right.
I
You
need
can
some
have the
reporters that
most
look forward
you
to
can
it.
have the most badass dyke chick in an NFL room, and she will go, "This disgusting what you guys talk about in here. I can't believe it." And it's how he was talking to that Ryan Seacrest guy. But women are getting over it now. Women are getting over it now, and they're going there. And I'm watching news footage of these people in New York going, "You're bringing immigrants into my son's classroom. What the hell are you?" And
New York, Dallas, Chicago, Phoenix.
Yeah, and they're getting sick of it.
They're
getting tired of it, man. They're getting tired of the crime. They are totally tired of paying $10 for a thing of eggs.
Well, that
for
was one Trump soundbite from last night. Here's another one. We've got 3 Donald Trumps to give you a flavor of Donald last night, controlling the audience, controlling the questioning, and being very presidential.
This country cannot sustain 15 or 16 million people, because I think that's the real number. I think by the time his administration ends, and hopefully quickly, it's going to be 18 million people. That's bigger than New York State. That's bigger than just about every state other than 1 or 2. 18 million people. Remember this. Many of those people come from jails and prisons. Many of those people come from mental institutions and insane asylums. And many of those people are terrorists. You know, I saw on Fox the other day, it was horrible, but beautiful, because from my standpoint, in 2016, They had no terrorists that they know of that came into the country. None. You know, I had the travel ban. They call it the Trump travel ban. They tried to make a big deal. The Supreme Court very intelligently approved it. Without that, we would have had blow-ups. So we had no terrorist attacks at all during my 4 years. We cannot...
Donald Trump talking about what's happening with all of the illegals coming into this country.
In March, wait for Michelle Obama to announce she's running
I
for
agree.
president. And you know who's going to be right behind her? Gavin Newsom. And they're going to do it in a Denny's somewhere in the Midwest.
And the Denny's.
No, these are elite people. They're not going to Denny's.
They have to.
Denny's is elite for
Look,
us, but it's not elite for Gavin and Michelle Michael.
I'm telling.
This is a couple days old news, but did you guys hear about The Rock Johnson possibly running?
For
Well,
what?
we
As
talked
as a Democrat.
Well, yeah, we addressed that about 2 months ago. He
And
had,
he's saying
he had
it
meetings.
again.
But there was something recently. They were showing him somewhere. There
He
was a video.
started the conversations months ago, but he's not going to run.
Okay.
And the reason this is fun to talk
But
about,
I did say it though, buddy.
in November and October and September, that was preseason.
Mhm.
That was your third string quarterbacks getting out there and sucking and getting cut. Now
Sucking and getting cut.
now we are on day one. Last night was day one.
Mhm.
And next Monday, really, when the first caucuses happen,
Right.
is day one of the real season.
Very true.
And this is great. It's almost like sports talk radio right now. We're prognosticating what's going to happen. And whoever gets it is going to be a damn genius. I do think that Michelle and Gavin are coming out of the bullpen, and they're going to be like I said, they have to get back to the blue collar guys because the blue collar guys do not like them anymore. I don't think you can do this in Silicon Valley.
No, you know what? That's a great point. You know what? I couldn't lead with Ron DeSantis and Nikki Haley because they're not leadable people right now. We had to start with Trump, but I feel like we need to knock them out and get them done with at the same point in time.
I agree.
That here, CNN,
It'll be in 14 days.
They did a debate last night on CNN, and there's a 2-minute excerpt of those two going back and forth. Let's just so you can see the kids' table and what they were doing last night. Here's a little recap of their debate on CNN of all places, and I can't wait to see what the numbers were because I guarantee it was low. And then when we finish this, we'll show you how Vivek interjected himself in their debate last night in only a way that Vivek could.
Mm-hmm.
University in Des Moines, Iowa. This is the CNN Republican presidential debate.
Donald Trump's running to pursue his issues. Nikki Haley's running to pursue her donors' issues. I'm running to pursue your issues.
So what we're going to do is rather than have him go and tell you all these lies, you can go to DeSantisLies.com. It will cover the fact that he's only mad about the donors because the donors used to be with him, but they're no longer with him now. And that's because he's upset about the fact that his campaign is exploding.
The difference between Nikki Haley and me, I listened to all that litany of stuff. I debated the governor of California, Gavin Newsom. I thought he lied a lot. Nikki Haley gives him a run for his money, and she may even be more liberal than Gavin Newsom is.
I wish Donald Trump was up here on this stage. He's the one that I'm running against. He's the one that I wish would be here. He needs to be defending his record.
Do not trust Nikki Haley with illegal immigration. That's like having the fox guard the hen house. She's weak on immigration. She's bankrolled by people who want open borders. And she said there shouldn't be a limit on immigration. You should work with corporate CEOs.
We have to realize my parents came here legally. They came the right way 50 years ago. They put in the time, they put in the price. They are offended by what's happening on the border. But let me tell you why Ukraine should matter. First of all, I don't think we should give cash to any country, friend or foe, because you can't follow it, you can't hold it accountable. I don't think we need to put troops on the ground, and Ukrainians want to win this themselves. But dictators always do what they say they're going to do.
This is the UN way of thinking, that we're somehow globalists and we have unlimited resources to do. I think here's the problem. You can take the ambassador out of the United Nations, but you can't take the United Nations out of the ambassador.
Do you believe Governor Haley is sufficiently pro-life?
I think she's been confused on the issue. I think she's trying to speak to different groups with different things. But when she says things like pro-lifers need to stop talking about throwing women in jail, that's a trope. No one I've ever met thinks that that's something that's appropriate.
These fellas don't know how to talk about abortion. I have said over and over again, the Democrats put fear in women on abortion, and Republicans have used judgment. And the tropes that you want to talk about, you keep saying, where is anybody talking about putting a woman in jail or giving her the death penalty? South Carolina. There is legislation right now that would put a woman in jail if she got an abortion.
Thank you, Governor.
That's why I say
Thank
that.
you. What do you admire about Governor Haley?
Well, look, I mean, I think that, at the United Nations.
Stupid question.
Nice
I
dress.
did think that she spoke out strongly
She's
on
quiet
some
now.
key issues, and I appreciated that. I also appreciate the state of South Carolina.
Governor Haley, what do you admire about Governor DeSantis?
I think he's been a good governor.
Okay.
End of story. There you go. That's why Donald Trump is
I
by
hate-
far night and day difference than those two.
Yes.
I hate these debates. I tell you what, here's the deal. The town halls are about 1 million times better than these stupid debates.
Without question.
100%.
We should have no
It's
more
the new
debates.
way.
We should have no more debates.
Yeah, I like
That's
town
why
halls.
Trump didn't do them. Trump was going to do one after the last one he did. Trump ruined the debates with Joe Biden.
Yeah.
There really haven't been any good debates since.
No. And why is
And the debate moderators, they suck.
Why is-
I'm sorry, they suck.
why is CNN not demanding a Democratic primary debate? Because
should have.
basically what it is. Here's why.
Because
Yeah, good point.
Because
good point.
the DNC controls CNN, and
Right. That's true.
Correct.
and if
That's
you
true.
can't put
But-
two
but-
sentences
and they don't
together,
have
You know what?
anybody.
Joe Biden,
I'm
you're not going to be able to debate RFK Jr.
I'm sure that Rock Johnson, who wants to run, maybe, or maybe.
Let me tell you something here.
Yeah, why can't they have a debate with all the guys that are on the sidelines of the liberals and say, "Fine, Joe, stay home,
Mhm.
get Metamucil and watch some Matlock.
Get
You'll be
rid of
fine."
Miesle.
Here, but why is CNN not demanding that the people who are running on the left get on a stage and debate?
Could you
those
imagine
points?
that our dream Democratic debate?
Uh-huh.
Joe Biden, RFK Jr., Michelle Michael Obama, The Rock, and let's throw in Taylor Swift.
Wouldn't that be fun? That would actually be quite a little show right there. I
And
would
then
watch
you could have Kelsey in the audience
Made for
watching her.
TV.
Yeah,
It'd
that would
get
be
some
great.
ratings, that's for sure.
Yeah.
We
it
could
would get
promote
great
this and make some money.
But the Democrats aren't even Democrats anymore. That's the who you guys kept saying today who you felt sorry for.
I
Yeah.
felt sorry
I'll
for
tell you,
DeSantis
I feel sorry for
because
the blue,
he's done.
well, I feel sorry for the blue collar worker who
He's been
now,
neutered before our eyes
Yeah.
over the last 6-7 months.
No, he's been
Yes.
Jeb Bushed is what he's been. And it's
Mm.
a shame because Jeb thought he was the heir apparent to the Republican Party.
Right.
Same with DeSantis. DeSantis thought, I am the heir apparent to a guy who's completely unpopular, who is going to be indicted for all this stuff. I'm going to go and step into this thing. And Trump kind of just looked at him and go, son, sit
Mhm.
down.
Yeah, sit your ass down. It's not your time, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. That's
Mhm.
I just can we see DeSantis's face one more time? The smile that sums up Ron DeSantis when it comes. I
Oh,
mean, that
he
is
had that face several
that
times.
is a
last
tired
night.
man. That is a
Yes.
defeated man. That is a man that's like, please don't let me get hit again. I can't take another defeat.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, this man was once thought of as being a super candidate for president someday.
Yeah.
And this is what happened after running against Donald Trump. And then Nikki Haley, now he's in third place. And Vivek is
Mhm.
like is lashing him every day as well.
You know what I hate is that stupid that form that they are trying to get everyone to sign. If you to participate in this debate, you must vote for whoever wins the primary. I hate that thing.
I agree.
Here's what they should do. The Republican Party should have a document that says if you are elected president, you will, number one, close the border. Everyone signs. Number two, you will drill, baby, drill. Everybody signs. Because they all believe in that. Why can't you just get past that garbage?
Because everybody's bought and paid for except Trump. And you have to answer to certain calls first. I'm
Yes.
telling you, it's
Yeah,
that's
a
true.
problem.
Yeah, because the
That's-
people who bought and
But-
paid for DeSantis has ruined him.
But then you're voting for personality now. Because if you all agree on
It's
the
kind of
same
always
things,
been personality for president, Eric.
not
Once
No,
you're
no, no, no,
once
no,
you're
no, no, no,
on
no.
your party
No.
side, it's
No.
personality and who you like to look at.
Remember when we talked about on the show?
That's why visuals are so important with anything in life.
Remember when we talked about on this show, I guess maybe 1,000,000 times, the abortion thing was going to be the thorn in the
Mhm.
foot.
And we still do.
And guess what? Last night, Trump goes, I want to win an election. I'm sorry that the pro-lifers out there, I got you Roe versus Wade. And guess what?
Correct.
The dog caught the car. And guess what happened? The car ran the dog over.
Mhm.
Because in the next election, there were so many things.
That's a great point.
There were so many elections that the Republicans should have won.
Yes.
They lost.
Correct.
So Trump comes out last night and he goes, We got to win elections. I'm a pro-lifer. I think that it should be blah, blah, blah.
I liked when he said that.
But we got to win an election.
Well, we had more from Trump last night, too. Another soundbite with Donald Trump being Donald Trump and just controlling his town hall on Fox News in Des Moines.
Well, first of all, a lot of people would say that that's not so bad. Look what they did. Russia hoax, the FBI Twitter hoax, the 51 intelligence agents hoax, all of these different hoaxes that they did. I mean, a lot of people would say that's probably quite normal. I'm not going to have time for retribution. We're going to make this country so successful again. I'm not going to have time for retribution. And remember this, our ultimate retribution is success. Well, first of all,
it was my favorite soundbite of the entire night with Donald Trump, because you have all of these people on the left, and I mean all. Oh, we're so worried when he comes in, he's going to take away our rights. He's going to try to control everything. He's going to be dictator Trump. And then you have a calm Donald Trump speaking very directly. I don't have time for retribution.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about that. What an outstanding soundbite from Donald Trump last night to put things into perspective. You won't hear it on national media.
Mm-hmm.
You won't hear local news running it. You'll hear it on Cancel This. But that comment is why Donald Trump will continue to dominate.
Yeah, he needs some advocates right now. He needs to win the minds of the people who wouldn't vote for him because of his personality.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you want your kids to get back to a future in this country that is acceptable, that you can afford, that has a strong military, that has a closed border, he's saying close the border, but we want legal immigration. How in the F is that controversial?
But people don't.
How in the F?
But many people aren't watching news. They don't look at headlines, or they look at headlines. They don't watch the stories, Eric. They really don't know. My son, who is very conservative, freshman in college, started asking me questions last night when he saw me putting the show together. And he's like, man, why was Donald Trump afraid to go debate? Like,
he's not afraid.
I had to explain the story to him of what was going on. And he's like, oh, well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Here's one more Donald Trump from last night as well, because, I mean, all of his quotes were pretty damn good.
we have millions and millions of people here. It is not sustainable. Did you see in New York City where they're getting the regular students out and they're putting migrants in their place? We are going to have the largest deportation effort in the history of our country. We're bringing everybody back to where they came from. We have no choice.
Can you do something about the sanctuary cities?
Yeah. Well, they're going to be ended because the Democrats are going to end them because you can't sustain it. If you look at New York, you have a mayor of New York who now is really hostile to the administration because New York City, that's my place. I love New York. It's gone. It's had a tough time. We have millions and millions.
It's a very tough time, and that's why he's here to try to change things.
There is one question I would have asked him if I was there. I would like to go, Mr. President, thank you for your service. Why the hell didn't you get all this taken care of in your first term?
Oh, my God. What? What more could he have done?
That wall is not done. That wall is in scraps that got sold.
You don't build a wall in 2 days. Do you realize how much shit he had to deal with from the first day?
Why is that wall not
I think
done?
he accomplished it.
Well, I think he got the wall almost done, and then he kept getting blocked and blocked and blocked.
I became more of a fan of Donald Trump once he became president than I was when he became it in the first place.
Here's what I think, and let's see what you guys think. He was trying to be political and trying to capitulate with the other side. So
yeah.
Saying let's
hence
make a deal. And the Nancy and the Schumer attacks, they knew how to drag stuff on.
Mm-hmm.
They knew how to not get stuff accomplished.
Correct.
And that was his down. I think that's what I want to know is like, how are you going to nuke that?
He addressed that last night, I thought. And what he said, because somebody asked him a question kind of similar to that, Eric. And his response was, I now know the good who's there. I know the bad. He even called him the dumb. And so I agree with you. I mean, he even said the word dumb, that he knew the dumb people there. And I don't disagree with you, Eric. That was the one thing that he did not master.
Mm-hmm.
But it's
he couldn't get funding, as Glenn says.
Well, not the wall. It's not the wall I'm meaning. It's just that he did not master the swamps that outplayed him, because I think he's always been dynamic and he could always persuade people, and he didn't realize how bad they were, but he did address that last night.
Here's the other thing. I don't think nobody could understand what the swamp really was like.
Nobody knew it was that bad. And if he
We
did
know
one thing,
now,
he exposed
and
it.
now we see it on a daily basis.
Correct.
Till we saw the swamp white privilege yesterday with Hunter Biden, which we'll get into in the 9 o'clock hour as well.
Yeah.
It's just insane, all of the crap that happened. But Donald Trump's taking care of business.
It was funny because remember when he won the election, he went over to the CIA to say, "Hey, how you guys doing? I'm glad we're on the same team." Little did he realize, no, you're not. They were. I mean,
they were not on the same team.
How creepy is that?
Yeah.
I can't wait to work with you guys in the FBI and all the DOJ guys, and then to know that he was being targeted, spied on, and I feel like if he goes back this time, he's going to go back going, I know what you guys did.
Yeah, I know which ones you are.
And I know who did it. And we're going to get to the bottom of this.
Yeah.
That's true.
That's
like
the best part.
That's like the principal showing up at your classroom and talking to the teacher and looking in.
Yeah.
And you know you did something wrong.
Yeah.
And the principal's there to take care of business.
Yeah.
The second time. Well, yeah. But no, it's,
and he's looking there at you like
no, it's like Karate Kid.
No personal experience, of course.
He got his ass kicked the first time, and then he went to Mr. Miyagi, and then the second time he saw him, he kicked his. He said, "I'm not going to fall for the old banana in the tailpipe." I'm gonna kick your ass."
Right.
We're going from Karate Kid to Beverly Hills Cop in a matter of 5 seconds.
Yeah, but it all makes sense. It all makes sense.
I love it.
It does.
But it's kind of like those old 80s movies where
I love this show.
It's like those old
show rocks, by the way.
Those old 80s movies when the whole premise and the way you could write every 80s movie is the person would come in, they would have a villain, they would get their ass handed to them, and the rest of the movie was spent training to beat their ass.
That's right, Rocky.
Yeah.
Rocky, exactly.
Of course.
Thank you. Exactly right.
I mean, Sylvester Stallone had a really nice life because of Rocky.
That's right. But he lost.
What do you mean he lost?
Creed beat his ass in number 1.
Yeah, but he won. He lost, but he won.
Did he?
Yes.
No one remembers number 2.
No, but they were chanting. He lost the first fight.
Yeah.
But he won because Apollo could not stand the fact that people thought this white, unathletic, fat boxer could stand
That's right.
the entire time. So he insisted on having the second fight.
That's right.
And that's when Rocky beat him.
Exactly, Donald Trump.
Rocky chased chickens. That's why.
Okay. And he ate raw eggs.
And he ate raw eggs.
You guys wrapped it up in that analogy that Donald Trump didn't get everything done he wanted to, but now he's coming back for Rocky
That's right.
2. It's coming.
Okay.
That's back when America was powerful and actually stuck up to Russia.
For sure.
I mean,
we stood up to Russia.
Another thing I'm super
I can
worried
change,
about.
and you can change.
I'm super worried.
We all can change.
That Biden is actually compromised. The more stuff I see.
You think?
Well, I don't know.
Eric.
Eric, of course he is.
I don't.
What do you mean you don't know?
It's more about this. Like, Mr. President, we have a problem. What's the problem? China just said they have a tape on you and information about you and Hunter, and you guys have to do X, or else we will release this information.
You're talking as if Joe Biden thinks rationally and logically.
Well, he used to, and he was just as evil. He's just as evil now as he was back then because he lied and he plagiarized and all that. But now, not only is he still that evil person, of course he's compromised. Michael and Obama is talking in his ear all the time.
Guys, do you really think that these are problems for Joe Biden? Joe Biden's problems are running out of chocolate chip ice cream.
Do you think that
Joe Biden's problems are not getting enough vacation time?
Do you think that Joe was in his living room?
They're nothing more than that.
What do you think he was thinking when he saw his son Hunter in the halls yesterday?
He was like, "Oh damn, I need some more ice cream.
I've fallen and I can't get up."
He went back to his room.
Or do you
and
think
ate
he
ice
was
cream.
looking at the TV going,
you know,
like
they
my
do,
old son.
You know, they do have the clapper in the White House for Joe Biden, right? Clap on.
And it's controlled by Obama.
Clap off.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Michelle's putting me to bed early.
Right. Hey, by the way, this is cancelthisshow.com. I'm Vic Faust, Lizzie Sparks, Projo in the house. Eric Johnson in on a Thursday because why? Because he can. And we love having him in, especially on a day like this, because of all the crap that we saw last night. It is funny because we have one more Donald Trump soundbite. This is so important too, about his VP, because now we start to talk about who is the possibility of being his vice president. Kim.
Who would be in the running for vice president?
Well, I can't tell you that really. I mean, I know who it's going to be.
Give us a hint.
We'll do another show sometime.
Well, what about any of the people who you've run against? Would you be open to mending fences with any of them?
I will. I've already started like Christie better.
Christie for vice president?
I don't see it. That would be an upset. Christie for vice president. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to announce.
I do want to get to this other question before.
Christy,
That is funny.
Christy, no.
You think it's Christy Nome?
I think it's Christino.
Yeah, I do too. That would be great if it was.
Yeah.
I hope that's who it is.
Yeah, she hasn't said anything about any candidates. She's doing
No.
her own legwork, promoting her state.
She was out campaigning for him last week.
She looks like she looks like Melania, kind of. So they're both
She's
like,
a class act.
they're both supermodels. That's
Yeah.
kind of how he rolls. you
Yeah,
know?
and smart. He picks these smart, nice-looking people
He would never
who support him
Alana
back.
Hobbs, his attorney.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's for sure.
I'm just saying.
She probably likes UFC since he goes to UFC. I mean,
Right?
the VP
That's
has
right.
to like UFC.
Uh-huh.
So, I mean, you're going to
Oh,
be
man.
in front of the camera. That's for sure.
It's so true.
Aaron Donald. What? Christy or Aaron Donald? What's up with that? Aaron Donald, the NFL player?
Aaron Donald. Yeah, I don't know about that. And, it's rolling around that it's going to be, Nikki Haley. And I'm like, it is not going to be Nikki Haley. It is not.
It's not going to be Nikki Haley
No way.
because there's.
No.
I think Donald's the kind of guy that likes all the guys that hate him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think that Trump likes all the dudes that have flipped on him. And he's like, man, that's how I do business. There's nothing personal here.
Ben Carson is a name that's been thrown around, as well as Tim
Ben's
Scott.
a little too mealy mouth right now.
That's what I think
like
too.
Ben.
I like Ben.
But no, they're coming with dragons this time. They're not.
I hope so.
They're not.
Breathing fire.
Yeah, they're not bringing lizards out. You don't have wings and fire coming out of your mouth. You're on the bullpen.
That's awesome.
You can be in Secretary of the Interior. We'll get to you.
Hey, I forgot to put this out earlier. The hot mic moment with Chris Christie, since his name just came up. Chris Christie officially got out of the race yesterday. He should have never been in it.
No.
And it is interesting. Not only did he try to go after Trump and destroy his own career, he went after Nikki Haley yesterday too. He basically said she's going to get smoked. This was a hot mic moment that he was talking about with the situation, how much money she's put into this.
I want to hear it, Wayne. They don't want to hear it. We know we're right, but they don't want to hear it.
Right.
And there's, we couldn't have been any clearer.
Right.
We couldn't have been any more direct or worked any harder. So,
And let's not forget she spent $68 million.
Yeah.
I mean, we spent like
Well, when you give land to China and places like that.
Yeah, that's what you get.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, she spent $68 million so far, just on TV. Spent $68 million so far, $59 million by DeSantis, and we spent 12. I mean, who's punching above their weight and who's getting a return on their investment, And she's going to get smoked. And you and I both people don't want to hear it.
Awesome.
That is great. She's going to get smoked.
I mean, I feel bad for her, but it's like Chris Christie is not a good human being. He's just not.
No, he's not. No, and he got out of that race supposedly to give her the numbers, and then yet he bashes her on a hot mic. I love all of it. I love all of it.
Jenny thinks it
You
was
think he
fake.
did know?
I
Yeah.
know. He's like looking at the lab going,
Hey, she's
Yeah,
gonna get
that makes
smoked.
sense. Yeah. That was his way of getting back at her because he was forced
That's
to
an
get
interesting
out.
perspective.
I
When
like
I first
that.
heard that,
You know that.
I didn't know that.
You've had lav mics on you for
No,
ever and ever and
but
ever.
I didn't think that she did it on purpose.
You don't think so?
No, I mean,
I didn't think
when
that
I
angle until you
first-
said it. I think
when
it
I
is
first
now.
heard
This
it,
was
I
his
didn't
way,
know it.
his
But,
parting shot.
but
I
now I
agree.
could see it. I didn't think
God.
about it. At
If I
first.
had a lav mic here and I knew that it was like, there's
Yeah, but
gotta
he's
be,
been
there's
such an
some producer
embarrassment.
rolling.
He's
Wouldn't
been
it be
such an
cool if you
embarrassment. I
did
thought that
the
he
things you
got.
say?
He just did it.
It's like, because you could go culpable deniability afterwards.
Yeah.
You go, yeah, I meant it, but I didn't mean it for public consumption. I'm sorry it came out.
Yeah.
And then they go, oh, well, it's just a mistake. Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Come
yeah.
on, man.
That's good. That's good.
The other thing that was interesting after the kids' table debate last night between DeSantis and Haley.
Kids' table.
So
If you would superimpose like little kids' faces, like those apps on their bodies, and just had them going back and forth, that'd be great comedy.
Yeah.
Vivek, another guy who was asked, he did the Timcast last night too, by the way, at the same time while everything else was going on. He was asked, hey, if Donald Trump would ask you to be vice president, would you be his vice president nominee? And he said, I would support Donald Trump if I don't get to continue on, which we know he's not going to, if he asked me. And of course, he's been promoting Donald Trump when nobody else has been. But I found it interesting. Lizzie, you saw the commercial.
I did.
Check out
golden.
this Vivek.
Golden.
This is pure Vivek running a commercial during the debate or at the end of the debate.
Right
with
on
CNN.
That's awesome.
I mean, this guy, his campaign has been genius. I've never seen a guy that's not going to be the nominee win the whole election. He's winning.
Yeah.
Here's Vivek.
Ramaswamy and I approve this message. The mainstream media is trying to rig the Iowa GOP caucus in favor of the corporate candidates who they can control.
Damn.
Don't fall for their trick. They don't want you to hear from me about the truth of what really happened on January 6th. The truth about the COVID origin.
No, look at it. It stopped the best part.
Wait a minute, what's going on? Did you do that?
No, I didn't.
No, I did not.
Yes, you
did. No, I swear
played
I didn't
all
touch
the way
anything.
through.
Eric, we've had a lot of problems this morning. Videos that
Oh, my
all
God.
the Hunter Biden videos have been doctored, have been hourglassed, grayed out. It's insane. We had so much good
Joe
Hunter
Biden
from
is
yesterday.
the best president ever.
How did he go on to finish it, Lizzie?
Well, okay, and so that when I sent it to Joe, it was in its entirety. But basically, he was saying all the things that he's going to expose if he's the president.
We could find that somewhere.
Try
yes,
finding
it'll
that
come
again.
up. It is so good. See if you can find it again, Joe, because then at the end, he knows he's on CNN. He paid a lot of money to run this commercial during the debates. And then at the end, he literally says, now turn this shit off.
Building your online business?
Yeah, I don't care. Just let it run. I don't care. I want to see if this is a Google thing or there you go. Here we go.
Okay, here we go.
Message. The mainstream media is trying to rig the Iowa GOP caucus in favor of the corporate candidates who they can control. Don't fall for their trick. They don't want you to hear from me about the truth of what really happened on January 6th, the truth about the COVID origin, the Hunter Biden laptop story, and everything else they have lied to you about. So you can fix that. Take your remote and turn this off.
Isn't that the best? I love that. He's like, turn this shit off.
Man, aren't you glad that you're living in this time right
Yes,
now?
it's the best. It's so great. And so, okay.
Turn this shit off.
Turn this shit off.
My
and what's
God.
so great, okay, so a lot of people are saying that he's regurgitating words of Obama. Maybe he has done that in the past.
Who cares?
But here's the deal. No matter what, they are trying to put him down just like they're doing Trump. So I'm starting to have that gave me complete newfound respect for him when he's on CNN and he tells him to turn that shit off.
Here's how
People
how I see Vivek.
35 to 40 and under who have any interest in politics love Vivek. How do I know this? From my own personal
Yes,
Vic
you're right.
polling.
Yeah. No, you're right.
He moves the needle.
You know who Vivek is? You remember when you were in high school and you were a senior playing football or baseball or whatever it was, and there was this kid that was like in the 9th grade that was over here, and you're like, God, that kid has an arm. We would love to get him on our team when he grows up. That's Vivek. Is you want to see him mature to come out and become a real politician or a real.
Oh my God! You know what you made me think about?
What's that?
What has happened in the last 6 months? You had Ron DeSantis here, who you thought was that 9th grader with the great arm.
Yeah.
That you couldn't wait until he
may be a sophomore. We can get him on the team.
Bide your time.
Yeah.
There's the varsity player.
Yes.
The varsity quarterback. You've got potential.
Yeah.
And people love you. But hey, don't get angry. Don't transfer. Stay and wait. Bide your time.
Yeah.
You're going to be the guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then you have Vivek down here like, hey, everybody. I'm like, and then Ron got selfish.
Yeah.
He was bought and paid for.
Yeah.
He transfers out to somewhere else to go against the main guy. Vivek steps up, and now the guy that left is all the way down here. Vivek is right up here.
Yes, that's a great analogy.
It is.
So
that
true.
is what's happened.
It's the truth, because I tell you, man, your son
got
and my
selfish.
son, the people that know how to say Vivek Ramaswamy good, they're under
Vivek Ramaswamy.
They're under
Correct.
24.
I would agree
And
with
I'm
that.
saying this.
I would even go up to 35.
Yeah.
I'm saying this because he could be the next generation of Bernie Sanders. That with the guy that because those young kids don't know what the hell they're voting for or who they are.
They really don't.
They vote for the TikTokers that are big. They voted for Bernie Sanders because he was
Vivek's big on TikTok too, by the way.
He is. But Bernie was all about socialism. The young people were rallying around socialism and the Cory Bush thing and blah, 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 blah. This is a new thing for young people to rally around. And when you say the S word on CNN with a remote turning the thing off, that is brutal.
Yeah.
And that is so
brutal.
new politics. It's
It is.
unbelievable.
Uh-huh.
He doesn't have white skin. He's not an old dude. He is totally it's unfortunate or fortunate that he's not going to make it this year.
Correct.
But he is going to make it at a certain point.
Do you think that
he's more popular than Ron DeSantis right now?
Yeah, he is.
He's not polling better.
Not polling better, but the people that like Vivek and respect him, he doesn't have the negativity around him that Ron DeSantis does.
Yeah.
Correct.
But he's like Trump light. He's like if Trump is a bulldog, he's like a Chihuahua because he has the same bark, but he doesn't have the bite yet.
Yeah.
And he has to work on that bite to get people.
That just comes in time.
It does. It just comes in time.
Yeah.
And I like him a lot. And it's so new and it's so refreshing to a lot of people.
Yeah.
And
he's likable.
And you know what? The bottom line is right and wrong management of this country or any city or a state. It is right and wrong. Big ass military, low taxes. You build a society where you can thrive and succeed, but the government doesn't have to get in your face. Everybody's on the same page. But Vivek does it in a TikTok kind of way. And that's why I think I like him.
Yeah. A lot of people do like him.
He's not going anywhere anytime soon. He's just not.
Do you think, people are saying on the chat line that they think that he's part of Donald Trump's campaign and that he's paying him to do this.
He has never come out and smashed
Donald Trump has never paid anybody for help. No way he's getting paid.
Yeah, but he has people on his staff.
They may have talked.
I see Vivek in the same bucket as a Carrie Lake.
Okay.
Or I see him in the same bucket as, General Flynn. He knows his place inside of the Trump.
He does.
world.
You know what? He took Ron DeSantis' spot.
Literally.
That's what happened.
Literally is what
Ron,
he did.
back us. Be our team guy. Ron's like, nope. I'm the man.
It's kind of like
I'm the man.
It's like this. It's like the streets of New York, man. It's like the Gambino family. It's like I'm going to take out the Godfather. You want to take out the Godfather? You got it. You got what it takes to take out the Godfather. You come after me, and then all of a sudden, he just shoots him down one at a time. DeSantis is first.
Ron thought he was a made man, and he was not a made man.
That was the word I was looking for. Damn it! Yes, a made man. But he was Joe Pesci, and they brought him to the damn living.
They took Joe Pesci out to the field.
That's right. That's right.
So it's a fascinating time to watch this thing.
It really is.
I can't wait to see how does Nikki Haley and DeSantis disappear when they get ousted?
I think Nikki kind of stays around a little bit because she's so ingrained in the deep state. Ron, I think he's done.
No, you mean done nationally?
Yeah.
No, here's what Ron and this is my wish list, my post-Christmas wish list, or my wish list for 2024. Ron, go back to Florida.
Yeah, and just
be
stay
quiet.
there.
Kick ass in Florida. Continue to kick ass. Support the president if it is Donald Trump as much as you possibly can.
Yeah.
Speak as little as possibly about Donald Trump, Nikki Haley, any of that stuff.
Yeah.
Work on your smile and come back. Give it some time. Time heals all. Give it some time, and then maybe there'll be a spot for you later in a few years.
This is what I hate about. This is what I hate about politics. Every year since 1776, you had to bash the guy in your party to try to win a primary, and then you had to fake smile it for the rest of the time trying to get that guy elected. I cannot stand because that's a lie. You're either lying about bashing the dude or you're lying about trying to get him elected. But what's your opportunity? What's the choice? You can't go get Biden elected. You're not going to go get Michelle Obama elected or Oprah Winfrey. So you have to go back to the side of, I love Donald Trump. I can't tell you how much I love him. I hope Donald Trump spends the night at my house.
But it won't take long for him to change.
It's so bizarre.
It's
weird.
true.
By the way, as cool as I think it would be, Tucker Carlson will not be the VP nominee.
No.
Wouldn't that be cool, though?
He just spent about $20 million on his new network.
He did.
You can't do both.
But he could be press secretary. He could be
He
Jean.
wouldn't have time to do that. Not in his show.
Hey guys, I got 5 minutes. Give me a question. And then do his laugh and then leave. That would be Tucker Carlson as his press secretary. That's a stupid.
What are you, dumbass? What are you, dumbass?
Yeah.
That would be awesome. That would be
Where did you get
gold.
that?
Oh my God, you guys are literally the stupidest people I know. I gotta go. That would be Tucker.
As Jay says,
Yeah.
and we appreciate the live cast. You guys know, I mean, you guys make the show what it is. We've had a lot of great content. We haven't gotten into a lot of comments today, but Jay's like, it would be a demotion for Tucker.
It would be a
It would be.
It would be
a
a
demotion.
big
Yeah.
demotion
It would
for
be a
Tucker.
demotion. Yeah.
But there would be lots of cabinet positions to fill. I mean, and how easy is that? Because every position that Donald Trump would fill, if it is him, would be a step up because it's the worst administration in the history of this country. And it's not just by opinion. Look at each of their track records and what has happened for 3 years, 3.5 years. Insane. Oh my God, Todd, that is the best.
Yeah.
Vivek would be the best press secretary.
And he would have to give up his $1 billion interest for like 4 years. I don't think that's going to happen.
You know what
I
else
don't know,
he
but
did?
he would be great. as
But here's the
press
thing that's great
secretary.
about Vivek too, and this is in news that's happening. I don't know if you saw this, Eric. Lizzie and I and Joe talked about this over the weekend. Laura Loomer, who does a fantastic job on Twitter, she got kicked out. She's a conservative. She supports Trump. She bought tickets to campaign events for Nikki Haley, Ron DeSantis. She got kicked out by police at both. Had video of getting kicked out at Nikki Haley's. What does Vivek do? He was asked about it at a press conference. And he's like, that was absolutely ridiculous. He's like, and it shows you the kind of people Nikki Haley and Ron DeSantis are. They just kept screwing up time and time and time again.
Yeah.
And then it just backfired on him. And he's like, I invite people into my press conferences who disagree with me, and I give them a mic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a genius idea. When you try to cut off conversation, when you try to cut off First Amendment rights, it will backfire on you, which is why Ron and Nikki failed so bad in this campaign.
I beg people who I don't agree with to be on a mic over there.
We do it here.
I literally, I'm like begging.
Hey, by the way, we had
knees.
Mark Car Crash Kaysen on about a week and a half ago.
Oh, Lord.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he showed what Democrats say.
But what was he saying?
He couldn't even Pro Joe even asked him some really good questions, and he just it completely ignored him.
He acted like I wasn't even here.
He couldn't answer any of them, and there was a guy that
we'll get him back on sometime.
I want
was
you
here.
because I want to I would like to want for once. And I'll tell you what, JFK Jr. or what is
RFK.
RFK Jr. I do every now and then go, he makes sense.
I think he makes sense too.
And I'm like, you are not a liberal. I'm sorry, you're just not a liberal.
He is, and you know why he is? We ran video recently of him. He was asked by who's Charlie? Who's the works of Charlie?
The girl over.
No, the guy. No, not
Charlie Kirk.
Charlie Kirk did an interview with him, and he had a gotcha moment. Not on purpose. He's like, "Who would you nominate for the Supreme Court? What kind of people?" Because Donald Trump.
That's
Donald
fair.
Trump.
Now
he
we're
says
getting into
Donald Trump has a list of people who he would nominate. You're refusing to say that, and he's like,
But he might not know.
And he's like, I'm not going to say anything.
He doesn't have a gaggle of
and
people.
then that showed me that, RFK, he is that liberal.
He is, but he's blue. You know what? Again,
He's an old-fashioned Democrat as opposed to a liberal.
Yeah.
But he can't say any Republican he'd back.
Yeah. It's the fabric of what both sides have been trying to do now for the last 10 years. I get it. When Obama came into office, it was the beginning of this bizarre transformation of the world's greatest country ever built. And you know what? You cannot manipulate something that beautiful and big and not screw everything up. And that was the beginning. And then, as you can see, they're starting to do it. They did it with Biden, which makes you know that Joe Biden is in cahoots with the old guard.
100%.
And you can see how they're trying to destroy the country. They're trying to bring in millions of people illegally, and they're trying to have a soft face on it. Like, no, everything's fine down there. We need more money to process these people. Please let us have some more money. They're destroying the energy sector of this country. No, let's put some more ugly ass windmills in Illinois. If you ever been to Illinois and you go past those windmill farms,
they're ugly.
It's disgusting.
It is disgusting.
And I think right now It's a pivotal. This is the most important election. This is it.
Well, by far.
I was.
Yes.
I mean,
Actually,
it's
the
not
last
even close.
The last one was actually the most because they
agree.
started doing it. How in the hell are you going to get 12 million people who should not be here out of this country now?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Joe, did I have other videos that we didn't play? I couldn't remember.
There's plenty. Which ones?
We're after we talk with Paige coming up, we're going to do the Hunter Biden stuff. But was that what was left? Was Hunter Biden?
There's Hunter. There's a few others. There's some Obama stuff.
Obama.
Yeah, Obama. Let's see.
What?
Says illegals cannot be stopped from voting.
Oh, that was from the other day.
Oh,
yeah.
was it?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. And then there's showing illegal migrants at Chicago O'Hare.
Yeah, that was okay. Yeah, that's the 9 o'clock hour stuff. I was just trying to make sure we had everything wrapped up from there. Okay, I got you. Thanks, Joe. I appreciate it.
And on that note, and this is another thing that pisses me off about this country. This is a slam dunk, and I want you to work on this, Lizzie.
Okay.
You have got to have the Republicans say, we are not capitulating anymore to your absentee balloting or your absentee voting.
Oh, dear God.
We're not capitulating anymore to these canisters that you're putting out to get the ballots. We're not doing any more of this ballot harvesting. You vote on Tuesday, November the 2nd.
Absolutely.
You basically, if you don't get in there on time and you don't show an ID, you're not voting. And I think the Republicans, they better grow an ass bone.
They're not. What is there?
Bone.
Eric, what's
grow
there
an ass
now?
bone.
What's there now is not changing, and this is what sucks. And
No,
we've
it
put
has to.
But we put an emphasis on it for 2024 here at Cancel This. We always covered the illegal alien situation at the border, and we are covering and reminding people what happened in 2020 according to fact and numbers, and where we sit for 2024 and laws. Eric, you can still go vote without an ID in states in the United States of America.
Let me say it again. This isn't up to the Democrats.
You know what, Joe?
They're
Did
the
you
ones that
delete the
screwed it up.
Obama stuff? Did you delete the Obama voting yet?
Obama voting?
You just brought it up, the Obama.
Oh, no, it's up
You know
there.
what? Eric just let us right into that. Can we play that? This should piss people off. Paige, how are you doing on your time? Are you all right? Okay. Eric, it's happening. You have to show an ID to buy lighters at freaking Walmart.
Get on a plane.
To play Little League sports.
Yeah.
To buy Sudafed.
Oh, my God. That's right.
To get a sex change operation.
No, you don't even need that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you don't. If you're a little kid,
You don't even have to take your
teacher
parents.
can take you in there, and you can have your.
I was
penis
totally
wrapped
kidding.
on.
I didn't know I was wrong.
Yeah.
Dear God. Hey, did you send me this or who sent this Obama?
I did. I think
I think it was
me
pro
last
Joe.
night.
I think it was pro Joe.
This gives you an idea of where they're coming from with the voting, Eric.
Try to discourage you from voting. If you want to vote and you show up at your polling place, they can't stop you from voting.
What?
They can't stop you from voting. If people want to know how to vote, then you can go to iwillvote.com.
Wow!
The fact of the matter is that we give our power away all the time. You know, we tell ourselves, oh, it's hard.
This has got to be AI.
It's not going to matter.
No,
it's
I
not
No,
gonna
it's
count.
not. That was real.
And the powers that be, they're counting on us giving our power away.
Many of the millennials, dreamers, undocumented citizens, and I call them citizens because they contribute to this country, are fearful of voting. So if I vote, will immigration know where I live? Will they come for my family and deport us?
Not true. Okay. And the reason is, first of all, when you vote,
when was this?
You are
That's
a
what I was
citizen
trying to
yourself,
find, and I couldn't.
And there is not a situation where the voting rolls somehow are transferred over and people start investigating, etc. The sanctity of the vote is strictly confidential in terms of who you voted for.
Okay.
If you have a family member who maybe is undocumented, then you have an even greater reason to vote.
This has been a
People try to
Okay.
I'm pretty sure this was before the 2020 election.
Joe Biden just won the election. If that's true,
I've been telling you this.
If that's
Yes.
true, then
It's a bunch of crap.
Then it's all bets off. I want my money back. Trump's not winning the election. If what I just saw does not get him arrested for some kind of constitutional problem, then it's all bets off. He will win in Michigan. He'll win in Pennsylvania again. He'll win in any Arizona.
Yeah.
It's over. It's game over. Game set.
Michigan, Wisconsin.
Because all the polls are not going to show the migrant vote.
Well, here's the other thing. If there is, not to get too crazy, if there is a 2024 election, if there is, I promise you, there is no way in hell we're going to know the winner the same day or that night.
Oh, that's the other thing.
The same thing will happen. It will be pushed into other days. You know, we had John Daddy on last week talking about how he says there's already law on the book where it has to be a 1-day election. And you can't have mail trucks showing up with all of these mail-in ballots. Until mail-in balloting is corrected, adjusted, you're going to have problems with elections.
They're also saying that they're changing the verbiage of voting day to voting period.
That is really discouraging. That really is.
Well, it gets back to Eric's point. Republicans got to do what they can. But in states... But Eric, here's the other problem, Eric. You've got the freaking Secretary of State of Arizona, Brad Raffensperger, who's refusing to testify about Dominion's role from 2020. And he's also refusing to put the checks and balances on the current machines until after the 2024 election. And this is a Republican.
Yeah.
Where were there massive issues in Maricopa County? Arizona, his home state.
Who are these guys on the Again, I cannot wait. I hope I live another 50 years, which I won't, but I wish
you
I would.
You could.
I wish that I could to read the book about what happened during this time period.
Right.
I would, because you know how we always read the book about the Zapruder films and all that stuff about the JFK shooting, and nothing came out properly. And it's like, okay, there's no chance in hell that Lee Harvey Oswald actually did this because of the bullet coming here, blah, 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 blah. Now we're starting to find out I want to find out what's going on now.
Correct.
Well, here's the other thing, Eric, before we get to Paige. Paige, can we pop Paige up really quick, too? I'm sorry, Paige. Hi.
Hi. Good
Paige,
morning.
we love Paige from WeQuip USA. We'll get to Paige in just a second, too. You don't have to interject, but, you were sitting in the room. Here's the other thing about that, Eric, is the fact that, oh, shoot, what was I going to say? Damn, what were we just talking about?
About
being able to come back like a time
because 2020,
shoot, I can't remember.
It's like vision is always 2020. It's like I just want to know.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Oh, I remember.
It's the same curiosity that I have for aliens. It's the same curiosity that I have for Bigfoot. It's the same curiosity that I have for, why I keep going back to Denny's at midnight after a show. It's just, I want to know where do you get it? What's the Grand Slam? Hello.
Are you getting the senior special yet? And the reason why
I just made her laugh.
Well, and the reason why I'm saying is I went there and I looked at the age and I'm like, you're a little younger than me, so you probably can't get it yet. But I looked at it, I'm like, damn, I can get the senior special. And I've never done that. And I'm like, why not?
No, I played straight up. I played straight up.
I just wanted to remind everybody what Vivek also said about 2 weeks ago. He said the deep state is not going to allow Donald Trump anywhere near the White House. He said it is that deep. It is that strong.
Agreed.
They'll do whatever it takes. You saw what they did on Election Day 2020. They're not going to let him near it. He's like, I'm trying to get the word out as best as I can.
Yeah. They could keep the reins on.
Not trying to dampen the parade. However,
I want my money back. I want my money off of Black. I want it off of the table. The roulette.
That's right. We'll cheer you up a little bit. Eric, WeQuip USA is a really, really cool company. I don't know if you've checked them out yet. WeQuipUSA.com. Paige Miesle back in studio with us. Paige, we love you. We're glad you're back in.
Me too.
You guys still kicking butt, getting more product online?
Yes, every day.
Remind people what WeQuip is all about. And Joe's he'll be popping up your website with some pictures and things like that.
Yeah, so WeQuip is a peer-to-peer rental marketplace for anything and everything. So whether it's, as you can see here, trailers, bar tables, DJ equipment, chairs, tables, soccer goals, air mattresses, tablecloths, anything and everything you can think of, we have it. Or we can connect you with a neighbor who has it, and then we can get it online for you.
So people jump on. You can rent your own equipment or whatever you have, or you can jump on and rent somebody else's. And people just decide where they're going to meet to pick up things. Wait a minute. Is that a guitar?
Yep.
People rent guitars?
Yep.
Eric,
for $50.
Eric, isn't a guitar like a child?
Not really.
Okay, never mind that.
No, listen to him, not really.
I mean, your favorite one is, but I've got so many guitars.
Well, there's a favorite child too.
Would you rent?
You would never say that though.
Well, besides your favorite child guitar,
you were your
would you
sweet
rent the
mom's
rest
favorite
out?
child. It wasn't your brother. Maybe it was your sister.
That's right. But I'd be the one they rented out for sure.
But you guys are still fairly new.
Yes, just about 6 months old.
Are you the founder?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Don't
Oh
you
my
love
gosh.
this? Don't
Eric,
you
How
love
old
this?
are you?
Eric,
25.
25?
Eric,
That is
she's
the entrepreneurial spirit right there. That's a Vivek. You like Vivek Ramaswamy, don't you?
No opinion.
No.
yeah, no, she doesn't talk politics. She comes in and talks business.
I didn't ask her about her weight.
Oh, that I'll tell you. I don't care about
That's
that.
phenomenal. I love it. I love the entrepreneurial spirit.
Thank you.
Now, I need a hot tub for this weekend. Do you have a hot tub on here?
I do not have a hot tub yet.
But that would be a good one.
But
Like,
I
you know,
heard
the portable
Amini's
hot
has
tub.
some.
Amini's does. You were
Maybe I
so
need to
good.
talk to them.
You're very good. You're very, very, very smart. I
That
don't know
is
how-
a really good thing to think about because people would rent a hot tub for a party
Yes,
or a
they
romantic
would.
weekend.
But how would you?
or-
But wait
yeah.
a sec. Would it would have to be a blow up one?
Well, they have those too.
Yeah.
Well,
I
it
don't
could
know.
also be a lot. Yes. Lizzie, we're on the same page.
Yeah,
This
we
is a
are.
great idea.
Yeah.
Thank you.
This is a fantastic idea.
Well, Alex says WeQuip is exactly what I always wanted for things I need for like just one day, a party, and that's I guess when you get in
Chainsaw.
business.
I need
Exactly.
a chainsaw.
There's chainsaw on there. I can hook you up.
So it's not just
I need a
collecting dust.
There you go.
I need a chainsaw. What else do I need? Rope.
But how long? But how long do you need chainsaws for?
For a weekend.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it.
What are you going to do with a chainsaw?
I got a lot of trees. In my backyard.
Yeah.
I got a lot of
He's
trees.
got sniffers out
Yeah,
there
I
too.
do.
Mary says there was a guy that put a hot tub on wheels to rent out.
I think that's genius.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I do too.
As a matter
Well,
of
I
fact,
need to talk to that guy.
I'm
well,
talking to you 'cause
I'd
we're
have to
starting
watch
that
that
business.
guy disinfect it before I actually filled it up or
Okay.
they
Oh,
filled it
stop
up.
being so bougie.
That's what chlorine is for, right?
Yeah, exactly. Just put more chlorine in it. It's fine.
So what's the latest with the company in regards to activity, maybe questions, things of that nature? Maybe the company expanding, people starting to feel more comfortable and jump on and put items on?
We definitely have more items every day, but our newest thing that we started yesterday is starting to offer space rentals. So whether it's a conference room,
Yeah.
an event space,
love
an
it.
office, or maybe even a recording studio, someone I heard
Oh.
of has that.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
You can
Yeah.
list spaces for rent.
If we were smart, we'd already be there. Sorry.
So you only
We're behind the
in-
curve.
You need to be on there right now. Right now.
Are you only in St. Louis right now?
No, we're actually nationwide, although most of our rentals are here in St. Louis.
Is that right?
So there's a surfboard in San Diego, and we also have a rental in DC.
Yeah.
But yes, most of the listings are currently in St. Louis.
Interesting.
That is
Isn't that
really
cool?
cool. What have you learned so far from a business standpoint? You've come on before. For people who haven't heard you before, you're 25. You're from the St. Louis area. A graduate of Coriezu, correct?
Yep.
And then she went to Dayton, ace Dayton in like 2 years. She's like the Doogie Howser of business, as you can see already, Eric.
Yeah.
What have you learned from a business standpoint as you start to get connected and start a business? Because I wish I would have done it at 24, 25.
Yeah.
Networking is so important.
Who do you network with?
So I network with anyone and everyone I can get connected to. I started out with the Chamber of Commerce just because the marketing company we
Yeah.
were working with said, hey, you should join a chamber.
Mhm.
And then it just went from there. So
Right.
I joined Number 9, which is more local to the St. Louis area. I'm
Mhm.
currently in the process of joining a BNI group. But any other groups that I invited to, whether it's just a one-time networking event,
Yeah.
and that's how I get most of my users. So
Yeah.
currently at this point, I know most of my users
That's nice.
personally, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And if I don't know you personally, still join WeQuip. There's nothing against that.
Yeah.
But it definitely helps grow that trust on our platform. So if you have any questions about that, and all of our users are fully vetted. So they do identity verification. So you don't have all the spam things that you have with other marketplaces. You know who you're actually dealing with on our site.
And there's some stuff that you like.
Where's the
She brought up studio stuff, but there's music gear.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, like engineers. I know this is going way in the weeds, but there's certain compressors and certain outboard gear that you're like, I wish I could rent one of these things for a day. If you could find that on WeQuip, that would be, but you would have to fly it all over the country, I would imagine. Is that how you do it? You box it up, and then if you're in St. Louis and you need it in Philadelphia, it'll go there?
So currently we only do like local rentals.
Okay.
So whether you're living in the St. Louis area, you need something for a home improvement project,
Yeah.
or you're going on vacation to San Diego and you
Mhm.
want to rent a surfboard, then you can rent it there. It's something we could explore in the future,
Yeah.
but currently it's just location based.
Okay.
So you can see, we have a map on our website and you can see where each item is located.
Where do most people go to do a drop off or an exchange?
Their homes. I mean, you know who you're dealing with, you know the person's
Yeah.
name, that they've been vetted, that
Great.
we have that information if something were to go wrong. But yeah, the home is just so much easier, especially if it's like a folding table or something like that. You just leave it out on your front porch and they can come by and get it. And, it's less hassle for both of you.
Yeah. Do you see people, do you see people try to like take your idea or do other things with it?
I've been worried about that, but knowing the amount of work that I've put in, the amount of time and money that I put in to make this thing work, you have to be really committed to the idea.
It's branding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so great.
And you have to come up with a better name than WeQuip. So I don't know.
That would be
Yeah, WeQuip is a pretty cool name for sure. Would be another good thing, Eric, would be like a ping pong table. I have a ping pong table that I only use when people come over, but think how many times your kids are a part of you on a ping pong table and you don't want to buy one, but you just want to rent one for the weekend.
Yeah. Or you have one thing we did when I was younger, we had called Jungle Pong, and we played it in our high school or our grade school cafeteria. And so we needed a bunch of tables.
Yeah.
But you could have tons of people playing at the same time.
But you have to have tons of tables.
Exactly.
Could we talk about insurance?
Yes.
From the standpoint, that comes through my mind as well.
So right now, renters, if you do completely destroy the item, you are going to be held responsible for that. But on our listings, there is a replacement value to the item, so you know how much you're potentially liable for. Otherwise, for owners, if something happens to the renter, we do have an owner guarantee in place that covers you in the event that something happens.
Nice.
That's a good idea.
You know what I keep thinking is like, do you guys do big equipment kind of stuff like backhoes and that kind of stuff?
So we don't have any of those currently listed, but it's definitely something I would love to add. I have a couple contacts that I need to make with existing rental companies. And then we're also part of the American Rental Association. So we have a trade show coming up in February, and I'm hoping to definitely grow that side of the business.
Yeah, it's coming, man. That is a great idea. Especially with the barcode behind you on your cell phone.
Boom.
It's like Uber for rentals.
Oh, it would be.
It is. It would be great because if you guys could rent planes, that would be cool.
Yeah, rent planes and a pilot.
I'm all for that.
Pilot. Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Somebody wanted me to let you know you should join the Little Black Book. I don't know.
Oh my gosh. I've been told that so many times and I need to go visit. Yes.
The Little Black Book.
Yes.
So maybe that could help you out as well.
It's a women's networking group here in St. Louis that's just booming.
Yeah.
So
Where do you find Little Black Book? Is it like on Facebook?
I think they have it on Facebook, but they have their own website.
A website,
And they have
okay.
meeting locations all across the St. Louis area.
That's good.
Yeah, I know.
They also are the ones that run most of the Toys for Tots drives here.
Yeah,
in St.
the
Louis.
Burbash.
Yeah.
Ever heard
Burbash.
of the Burbash?
Yeah.
It's coming up, or did it come up already?
No, it happened in December.
Yeah, makes sense.
Anything else you want to let our viewers and listeners know before we let you go?
Yeah, so be on the lookout for new items every day. If you don't see something that you need, just reach out to us and we can work on connecting you with someone who has it. If someone has it and they already know someone that needs it, it's a win-win for both parties. And be on the lookout for our new campaign starting in the next couple of weeks on weddings. So that's how we're going to try to focus our campaign efforts, our marketing efforts around each season. So that way we have a little bit more focus, but don't worry, we'll still have everything you need for anything you need. And then also we're going to be rolling out a business partners program here in the next couple of weeks as well. So if you're a business that has underutilized resources, whether you're an existing rental company or you just have tables and chairs in the back that you store most of the year for no reason, we'll have a potential win-win for both WeQuip and your business.
All right.
That is awesome.
Sounds like us.
We'll
wait and see.
Before we let her go, did you ever put the cornhole set on there and say that you could rent yourself out?
Oh,
the
my
what?
God, what a great idea.
Wouldn't that be great? Rent our cornhole
And she's not
set
calling
out.
you cornhole. She's saying
Yeah, I'm not calling you cornhole. But I am renting Vic out because then Vic
is
could
our
be
cornhole.
yeah. Then Vic could be somebody's
You're not renting
partner.
out my.
We're renting out the cornhole and Vic.
Look,
So,
Vic Faust in a T-bar with the cornhole set, $2,000 a day. Go.
Sold.
There we go.
There you go. So anyone that would like Vic to show up at your party, he'll bring.
Yeah, that sounds like a whole lot of
He'll
fun.
help you win, and you can pay him. You can pay cancel
I
this
like
or renew
it.
renew me to $1,000.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Yeah.
Total humiliation.
She's going, what are you guys talking about? I'm legitimate over here.
There you go.
How do I put my stuff on your website?
So it's really easy. So if you go on our website, you'll create an account and then you just you do our identity verification, which everybody does. So you know who you're dealing with. And then in the top right-hand corner, it says list a new item or something like that. Okay. There's a pop-up on my screen. I can't tell. And it's a big orange button. So you just click that and then you can list your items by category and you set your own pricing. So you make 75% of your list price.
That is good.
Wait
So
a minute. Let me think.
you list it for
Yeah.
$100, you make $75.
That's
straight up.
75%.
All the fees and everything else come out of my end.
Ha! I'm not that stupid. Yes.
No, I know
No, I am.
I see ideas.
Because I thought it was $30.
No, I see ideas going through your mind.
Yeah, the wheels are spinning.
I know. No, I'm just super impressed with you.
Mm,
I am
thank you.
super impressed.
Me too.
Do you have an MBA somewhere? Did you come
Yes.
from what college?
University of Dayton. So I
Dayton.
got
Undergraduate and MBA
yes, so I got my degree in mechanical engineering.
in 3 years.
Mechanical engineering and master's in business.
Yes.
You can't go wrong. You are going to
Correct.
be very successful.
Thank
Yes,
you.
she is.
Yeah.
Actually, she doesn't know yet. We're going to create a podcast show with her teaching business or something of this nature.
Oh,
That would
Has
be
to.
great.
Has to.
I agree.
So I know you're super busy right now, you and your husband, and you're expecting. You have a baby on the way.
Very
so
nice.
Me too.
so
yes.
obviously you've got a
Congratulations.
lot
Thank
of
you.
things on your plate.
We're very excited.
Yeah.
But teaching younger people too, I think would be really, really cool.
And I don't want to say something I'm not supposed to, but she's even going to live in a great place she's having built.
Yeah,
So
I may have run into someone.
I might have
there.
run into somebody.
What?
Yeah.
Wow, that
Oh,
was
you guys
way
gonna be
too
neighbors?
innuendo-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I didn't want to like just say where she's going to live or anything.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Not too far from here, but yes,
Yeah,
it's,
not too far.
it's going to be a great neighborhood.
What's
We're excited.
Paige Miesle from WeQuip USA. Check out the website. Paige, thank you so much for coming in today.
Well, thanks for having me again.
All right. We're grateful for that. And obviously, you can go to our partners page at canceltheshow.com. You can check out Paige. You can check out WeQuip USA as well. And you can check out our other partners. We brought up Amini's, leading supplier in traditional and infrared saunas and saltwater hot tubs. We've got all the sponsor links on our page, on our partners page as well. Amini's does so much, but we've really been focusing on the benefits of the saunas because of the health benefits and how cheap they actually are when you finance them. I mean, 2-person sauna all the way up to 7-person sauna. You can get all that. Experience Realty Partners. Kathy Hubig Strick, Steve Strick. The market's starting to open up a little bit. Rates starting to go down just a little bit. You want to be ahead of the game. Don't wait. Call one of the best, 314-276-SOLD, 314-276-SOLD. Of course, Route 66 Cannabis. 5 locations throughout the St. Louis metropolitan area. Plus, they've got the Ostara line that's in hundreds of stores throughout the Missouri area. You can check them out as well. Strategic Air Services, where we broadcast live Monday through Friday, 8 to 10 a.m. Central, and all the time on our website, canceltheshow.com. They are the premier private transportation. They're busy all the time. People love flying private, whether it's for personal or business. That's right. Businesses are now flying their people around because of all the headaches that you can get with TSA, not knowing if flights are going to show up. They are the providers in all things aviation, from aircraft management to concierge services and acquisition. And of course, Winty's in the Chesterfield Valley. I promised Ben I would let you know he's working on getting the Chiefs for Saturday night, because most bars can't get it. He says, I can get it. Now I'm trying to work the legalities of showing the Chiefs, because Peacock bought the game for like $110 million.
Wow, Peacock.
A playoff game between the Chiefs and Dolphins. But Winty's is a great place to go. Food, obviously, great time. We do that as well. This is canceltheshow.com. I'm Vic Faust with Lizzie Sparks, Pro Joe in the house, and of course, Eric Johnson in today. Lots of politics in that first hour. And I knew you'd be impressed with Paige Miesle, my friend, because you're an entrepreneur.
We talk about that stuff all the time.
Uh-huh.
It's I never thought that the Gen Zs, the kids, I never thought they were stupid. I just think they're lazy and they're misguided.
Correct.
They're misguided on so many things.
They sure are.
And then you see someone like her and you're going, that's the new NBA. That's someone who took the opportunity to start an online business, is marketing it, is she understands at 25.
I love it. I
didn't know,
but she's different.
Yeah, but she is. But
she's different in a positive way.
She is, but she isn't. She's got the same brain as any Gen Zer. She does. But she took the opportunity to get off of her phone.
She did. You know what she did, though, too? And I asked her about this. I said, and I just had a feeling. I said, do your parents own a business? She's like, yes. And I said, did that motivate you or get you thinking about being an entrepreneur? She's like, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's easier when somebody, one of your parents have a business, because then that's kind of expected for you to have one too. And then you already kind of know the scariness of it, because owning a business is not easy.
A lot of times you learn from your parents, like Hunter Biden.
And that's why I'm so offended by taxes. I'm so I mean, yes, there is rich money. There's Rothschild money out there in families, but most people don't have that. Most people, here's the thing about it. You can go to work at Chipotle and you can make $20 an hour and you can do that for 50 years and you're never going to acquire or build wealth unless you invest in the right things.
Of course.
But most people don't do it. The investor has the opportunity. I love the word opportunity.
Me too.
That's my favorite word in the English language is opportunity. You have the opportunity to be successful in this world.
Yes.
And you can be successful in all kinds of ways. It doesn't have to be financial. But the word opportunity, that's why I hate taxes, because it pits people against each other. You're rich, pay more. You're poor, pay
It does.
nothing.
There's a lot of dividers in this country.
Oh,
and the powers that be
But
want
not to
that, like
mention
that, promote it,
taxes
and live
is
for it.
theft of our own money. It's theft of our money.
Yeah.
Years ago, our parents didn't tell us that because we thought, well, to live in America and to be free, listen to the oxymoron there, you have to pay some taxes so you can have nice roads and nice schools and nice. Now we're all waking up to, no, that's theft because our government takes our money, misuses it, and it's theft. Taxes are theft.
It's the truth. Here's what if I was running for president, I'm not saying I'm not going to. If I was running for
2028, Eric Johnson.
Maybe 2024, I'm not sure. But if I was running for president, I would look at the landscape of the United States, and I would do it from an alien's perspective. Some alien that came down to Earth and goes, I'm not totally sure what your problems are. You guys, you little people are weird. Here's what you need to do. You need to make sure all the potholes are fixed because you're driving around in these cars. You got to make sure that the cars are fueled up. You have to make sure that you have to make sure that you have to make sure that these illegal immigrants who are bombarding your schools and you're taxing you to death, you got to make sure that border is sealed up. If I did it, I would do it from the standpoint of common sense.
Yes.
If I would go, I would say, I don't. The only
but that's
issue.
the problem. You have common sense and you think logically. The White House does not, and it's on purpose.
No, I know, but that's what I'm saying. I would do it from I think that sometimes in politics, Biden is no exception. You get so mired in the sand and the mud that you're trying to dig yourself out of. You need people to come in with a fresh perspective and go, oh my God, look at, like if you go, when you go,
that's more like city leaders and governors. Yes.
Exactly. It's like go to Tashara Jones, for instance.
She's the St. Louis city mayor.
You have alleyway after alleyway of trash that's piling up because you haven't picked up the trash. You can't drive a nice car downtown because it will take your suspension out.
True.
You don't really want to go and get a hotel down there because you might be shot at. I mean, it's seriously.
I know.
This are your common sense problems to fix.
Yeah, but we got a lot of problems to fix. One of those that we're not going to be able to fix is Hunter Biden. Yesterday,
I don't want him fixed.
Dude,
He's such a good clown.
He crashed
He sure is a clown.
his own contempt hearing. I mean, he literally crashed his own contempt hearing yesterday, and it was freaking awesome what happened to him afterwards. Some of these videos don't play, and it blows my mind, and it's only Hunter. Is that still the situation, Joe, that they doctored these videos?
Well, and this is on X, which is surprising. So Elon Musk is either getting hacked by, say, the deep state, or he is falling in line. Because,
he's not falling in line.
Well, if there's a couple of Biden videos from yesterday that are doing this.
Hunter Biden videos.
Or Hunter Biden, sorry.
And every other video is working. Well, we still have good stuff. After
these videos.
Well, after he crashed, literally, he went in with his taxpayer-funded security team yesterday, blew in as if he was something special, showing off his, quote, white privilege.
Yeah.
Then he blows out before he has to talk to Marjorie Taylor Greene. And check, was it Nancy Mace?
Nancy Mace, yeah.
Yeah, listen to what Nancy Mace had to say. And Lizzie, this is a woman after your soul.
Yeah.
Brought Hunter Biden to be here today? That's my first question. Second question, you are the epitome of white privilege, coming into the Oversight Committee, spitting in our face, ignoring a congressional subpoena to be deposed. What are you afraid of? You have no balls to come up here and...
Mr. Chairman, point of inquiry.
Hunter Biden.
She literally told him he had no balls.
I loved that.
DC is on fire. I mean, I don't know if I'm upset, happy.
Yeah.
It's funny. It's crazy what's going on in America.
I love it.
And no, he does not have any balls.
Balls.
But when you amp something up on one side, you have to amp it up on the other side. And so as the amping up of America, it comes to a boiling head.
And it is.
And it is. Something has to give. It's like when you have that much stress on metal, eventually it pops.
Mhm.
Have you ever seen when they put the wings of a Boeing 737 up to see what that pressure is that makes it go snap off? That's where we're at now. Those wings are.
No, I've never seen that video, but I get your analogy.
Well,
I'd like to see that.
Look it up. It's a Boeing 730 wing test, and they push them up until they snap. Well, we are at a breaking point, and I don't know how this is going to go down. I kind of think the only way after seeing that Obama video that Trump can win is he has to win by 20 points in all the
Oh, he does. He does.
I don't see how he can win on the margins.
But the other thing is I started thinking, okay, Hunter shows up yesterday. What are we not supposed to be paying attention to? Was it the debates last night? Was it President Trump? Or was it something else? I mean, there's a press conference of Hunter after he left. He did stop to speak with some reporters. Now, some of this stuff, when he was being asked, and we'll get into that in a second, but this one, this gives you an idea of some of the questions he was being asked yesterday.
Please, I'll answer your question if you be quiet and let me make a statement, okay? What crack do you normally smoke, Mr. Biden? Let me...
Is that not the best?
That was
thank you,
AI.
Benny.
No, I think that was real.
It was 100% real.
Yeah.
That would be the easiest question for him to ask.
And not only did that guy asked the question there, what kind of crack do you smoke? There's other videos that I tried to show you of him walking with Hunter, and they're not playing right now, where he's like, Hunter, what kind of crack do you smoke? How do you take it? And Hunter looks behind and gives him the dirtiest look as they're walking down that hall.
Dude, that would have been
and
like...
that X video, for some reason, is not working.
I would have said, I would go, usually it's Colombian, but sometimes Tijuana. What else?
Well, that's right. He should just admit it, but instead...
Yeah,
own it.
I mean, as a rock star...
The laptop is real.
Yeah.
Your hookers are real. Your drug problem is real.
Did you check out
that is you, Hunter?
Yeah. Did you check out the hooker in that third folder? She was bad at it. You just you own it.
Own it.
As a rock star, you take lessons from Tommy Lee,
Daddy still
or from Sammy Hagar, or from any of the rock stars. Yeah, man, I had a.
But Daddy still thinks he's a good boy, and he talks about him being a good boy.
Oh, but
no, my son's got problems, and you know what?
He still says he didn't do anything wrong.
I still love him. They're playing this one properly.
They really
the
are.
The Biden family syndicate is playing
to make a mockery of that yesterday, because they couldn't do anything to him. They couldn't. They couldn't do anything to him.
Okay, so
now Marjorie Taylor Greene ripped him. Nancy Mace ripped him.
If I was,
the reporters have made a mockery of him.
If we're going to be fair, we have to flip this one on its head.
Mm-hmm.
I need you guys. Let's go on a little trip. Nancy Pelosi's up there for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
She's the chairwoman, and they are trying to bring contempt charges on. And they did. So it's not a far stretch. But let's say they're trying to bring contempt charges on Trump. And Trump, and they're saying all this bull crap about Trump, and Trump, does the same thing. I could totally see Trump going to the Senate side, making a statement saying, screw your dumbass subpoena. We would be sitting here cheering Trump being in the courtroom as AOC and all these people are going after Trump.
Well, our crew is telling us on the chat line that he had cameras following him as well for a documentary. And I could totally see that, because once again, he has no way to make any money, and we know he has expensive habits.
Yes.
And I don't know how the hell he's going to be paying for anything.
He's not. It's the guy that was not the one lawyer on the left.
He did get hundreds of thousands of dollars from Ukraine.
The other guy on the right, the guy in the weird ass jacket.
Yeah, with the longer hair.
He's the funding. He's the funding agent of all this stuff. He's the guy from California, I believe, that is letting him stay at his house. And he's the one that's probably, you can just imagine the 3 a.m. crack binge.
I imagine how compromised that man is.
Well, he's got to be really compromised. And as far as this documentary, that does show what this Nancy Mace was saying. He has the ultimate white privilege. Who does that? Who just walks in the middle of that with these cameras and makes a mockery of it and gets by with it?
It's the same thing as Borat walking into one of these things. Look, they were in Malibu, California one night. They probably both had 2 bottles of wine, and the rich dude with the unlimited funds says, "Hunter, I got a great idea. Come here, buddy." And he goes, "I want to make a documentary and we can put it on Netflix. And I'll totally spin this to make you look like a drug
Do you really
infested-"
think they could make money on that?
Yes. Look at Obama and his little
Yeah,
film.
but Obama, I get it.
Wait a minute. If you're Netflix and you're going, you just made a documentary of Hunter Biden, the most followed chump on the planet.
Yeah, I
don't
guess.
think they would.
I would.
I would watch it.
I wouldn't spend a
Wouldn't
minute
you?
on- No, I wouldn't.
I would love to see how they spin it.
It would be really interesting.
I would love to see how they spin it, and they would have to tell the story of what Hunter was doing getting off Air Force 2, all those trips. Now, I don't know how they would lie it out if they're producing the video. Maybe they do say, because my father was wealthy and rich and he was the vice president, I went over there and I used his name to make a lot of money. Maybe they do that. And maybe they go, maybe that's the way that they're going to defend Biden, going, I had no idea what those guys were doing on the plane with me. I just thought they wanted to hang out with me. So it's a weird, the story isn't about Hunter. The story is about what were you doing on the plane going to China or going to Ukraine?
Yes.
Or,
and how it implicates his daddy.
Yeah. And I think it's a defense, actually. I just let him on there and I went and played golf with these guys and I knew they had a business. I thought that Hunter did a good job becoming on the board of directors at Burisma. I really thought, I was like, wow, that's a defense.
Yeah.
That is a defense.
Well, they're playing it right for sure.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, you're never going to see my 21 shadow companies, but I will give you I didn't know what he was doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So until they can follow the money, and I'm pretty sure that
but the oversight committee has done an amazing job of bringing things to light that never would have happened before.
That is anecdotal, that is superficial evidence.
It doesn't matter.
And now what are they going to do with this evidence?
They're going to put it into the hands of the public and they're going to let them vote on it. But they're not going to trial. They're not going to take it to
No, they're not.
Yeah,
and if they did, it would be after the Bidens are gone. But Eric, you may or may not have heard me talk about this. It's very easy to blame the old senile fool man Biden when he's dead and gone. And that's sooner rather than later for all it wasn't our fault. It was Biden and his son. And then those two are gone. Well, now here you go. And if the miracle happens that Donald Trump does win an election, that it's fair and that he's in the White House, look what he's left with.
Yeah, this is quite.
Whoever's a president faces the worst situation this country has ever faced.
Way worse than even Obama.
Think about that and what Donald Trump had to do in 2016 compared to what he would have to do in 2024.
Yeah.
Because it's been set up and created and planned and it's produced failure.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
Because this is the worst this country's ever been.
But don't you think that Trump's last cabinet and his last attorney general and his last everything, he went out there and he said, guys, I need some people to talk to me. And they brought in all of these people that were part of the system. You had Barr, who was the attorney general. He was a career attorney.
Yeah, bad news.
He was a career guy. He wasn't a vampire hunter. He wasn't going to go looking for the deep state. He was just like,
he's part of the
He's just
deep
like,
state.
I'm just here to do a job. The next time and I don't think he's going to make it now, but if Trump gets into office, he needs vampire hunters. He needs guys that are able to say, we're fixing this crap. I don't give a damn. And they can throw a little bit of caution into the wind and they start to root this stuff out.
Exactly. They need to go in and fire everybody. You're right. They can't have no career guys. He knows who the deep state is, and he has to fire everyone. He can't go in there and take Obama's people that are still Joe Biden's people and work with them. They all got to go.
Well, it is interesting that you bring this up because all you do is have to remember about what happened to Donald Trump and what the media has thrown after you. And I know in the first hour we talked about Vivek, but you have to see this press interaction with Vivek explaining and asking media to raise their hands if they remember all the lies that the media produced to go after Donald Trump. This is, let's see, we won't listen to the whole thing, but because it's a 5-minute clip, but listen to Vivek start to ask these reporters, do you remember what you did?
If this is okay, and I'm just kind of curious on the previous question that you those 4 things that were provably false.
Yes.
Were in the, and I'm just kind of curious. I know some of these guys, we've been following some of you guys. I'm curious if there's any national media who actually believes that they were wrong, that those mirrors were.
Actually, it's a good question, Eddie. So Eddie's one of the, you guys are colleagues, 2 of the top state reps here. And I think that's a good thing to be curious about. Just by show of hands, who here is willing to admit that the Trump-Russia collusion hoax was indeed incorrectly reported by the mainstream media? Is there anybody here able to admit that was incorrect reporting?
It wouldn't be really appropriate for us to answer a question like that.
Why not? Why would that be inappropriate? I think it would be inappropriate. What's inappropriate is lying to the public.
We're doing our job asking you.
Was the public lied to, or did the media report on this set of facts that were provided?
So that's a fair question. I actually think that the public was lied to long after the media systematically still understood that this was the product of the Steele dossier. The Steele dossier was a piece of Russian disinformation provided by the Hillary Clinton campaign that was served up to the federal government as a basis for issuing a FISA warrant to then potentially infiltrate a member of the opposition party. If this was Bush and Cheney doing it to John Kerry, this would have been the stuff of scandal, impeachment, and worse. And yet, I think it was an intentional lie that the media said that account, which we now know to be true, was actually the Russian disinformation. Now, Shauna, I would be charitable in my interpretation of that if it were just one instance. Let me give an easier one. Just by show of hands, does anybody believe the media's reporting about the origin of COVID-19 ran flatly in face of the facts that you have a Wuhan Institute of Virology that was now the likely origin of the COVID-19 pandemic? You all said that it wasn't for a long time. By show of hands, was the Wuhan lab the likely origin of the COVID-19 pandemic? Everybody, media or not.
Welcome
you have
to
reported,
media in
the same
America
media that
in
has reported
2024.
that the COVID-19 pandemic did not originate in a lab in Wuhan is willing to even say, unwilling to admit today.
The report came out in 2023, so I guess.
It was known that there was a Wuhan Institute of Virology where they were conducting gain-of-function research, the very city which was the origin of a global pandemic. And yet the media's explanation was that somehow it could have been any source other than actually having started in a lab. I just think that that's systematically unacceptable. The Hunter Biden laptop. Is the Hunter Biden laptop story, as reported by the New York Post, which was shut down, had the Twitter account locked for anybody who is even sharing the story of the Hunter Biden laptop found on the eve of the last election? The media reported that it was Russian disinformation on the eve of that election. Does anyone here agree that the Hunter Biden laptop story, as reported by the New York Post, was indeed accurately reported and was not Russian disinformation, but was in fact a factually owned laptop of Hunter Biden? I mean, you got to, man. Your paper reported.
Well, you get the idea what Vivek was doing right there. And then he goes on to say, oh, yeah, and then there were 51 CIA agents who signed a letter stating that, oh, yeah, there was no laptop of Hunter Biden. And it was reported by the news media that there was really no laptop out there. And guess what? There was a laptop with a whole lot of stuff on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So these are the kind of things that Donald Trump would have to face again in 2024, as you, Lizzie, and Eric were just talking about.
Well, and the laptop, so many people knew about
the media
years
will try
ago.
to crush Trump if he's in office again. It will be, if it was bad before within a couple hours, imagine what it would be like now.
I don't think he's going to fall for the old banana tailpipe trick. I don't. I think he's moved on.
Me too.
I think he's going to come with a flamethrower. But
I hope so. I hope so.
I am convinced now after watching that Obama thing.
Mm-hmm. And that was for the 2020 election.
Again, you do not have to go out nationally and win every state. You can lose a lot of states. You only have to win swing districts, not even swing states. Swing districts will put you over the top, just like they did in Pennsylvania. Man, what they did last time was brilliant.
It really was. I don't like it. It's heinous, but
No.
boy, they were brilliant.
No,
They tried to do it with Hillary's campaign too.
What they look, I don't know if they. I don't.
I do. I think they did it
I don't
then
know
too,
anything
but
about those 12,000 mules or anything like that.
2,000 mules.
But
Eric. It's a tremendous.
I will say this
production,
and this is
with
like
facts.
This is my hypothetical. If they knew exactly where the pressure points were to Fulton County, Georgia. It seems like up in Wisconsin and Pennsylvania, they had people on the inside doing weird, maybe not illegal, but weird stuff on camera anyway, that someone who's not schooled in this stuff. So he better have a 300 million vote lead in this thing.
By the way, Greg,
I'm sorry.
Greg just asked, would there be enough ego room for a Trump Ramaswamy ticket? Yeah, Ramaswamy was asked last night when he did his Timcast if he would accept an invitation from Donald Trump to be his VP nominee, and he said, "Of course I would. Absolutely, absolutely. Those two would be great." He has gone out and done all kinds of campaigning for the Donald Trump.
that would be quite a ticket. Could you imagine him as the VP?
If you notice that last video, he had, if you change, it said truth behind Vivek. If all you got to put in is an M and a P, and it looks like Trump in the same font.
Yeah, it really does.
It does.
I never thought about that.
Did you
Put
delete that, or
back.
can you pop that back
He's
up?
absolutely right about
Which one
that.
was it?
That Vivek one that you just had?
Just the very last one.
The background, I was like looking at it going, man, that looks very similar.
Yeah, it
As a matter of
does.
fact, I thought it was Trump. And I go, oh, no, it says truth.
Truth. Look at that.
Doesn't that look like Trump?
Yeah.
A Trump billboard in the back there?
Truth Vivek.
It's the same lettering.
All you got to do is put your fingers
It's the same
over
font.
Put your fingers over to the T and the H, and you can go,
It's definitely the same font.
It's the
For
same
sure.
font.
I love it. That's awesome.
You think that's a coded message?
I think it is. I think anytime somebody does something like that, there is a coded message.
But the thing with Vivek, what he does better than any candidate is he can articulate the deep details of every situation in a conversational manner and do it somewhat quickly so that you're like, oh crap, I get exactly what he's saying. Whether I agree or not, no other candidate, including Trump, can do what he does. He has mastered the art of communication. Whether people think he's a plant, whether people think he's God's gift to Donald Trump, this man can speak, and he is incredible at relaying messages.
Yeah. He can be asked any question and he doesn't waver.
Well, because he accepts all. And that's the key. Most politicians don't. And of course, Donald Trump was our first big politician, presidential politician that wasn't bought and paid for because he didn't accept money from anybody.
Yeah, it's true. It's like if you have two coaches, here's how I see this right now. Trump is Nick Saban. And on the sideline, you have Mike Marks, and they're both coaches. But which one do you want? That's a slam dunk.
Well, that's a pro coach and a college coach.
They're two human.
I need a different analogy.
Oh, damn!
You need to be
going.
Wow!
I need an all college or an all pro analogy.
You have Mike Holmgren.
Okay, we're going NFL.
You got Mike Holmgren.
People don't even remember who he is.
Or yes, they do. Come on, man! He's one of the greatest coaches of all time.
People outside of your Seattle Seahawks.
No, I was talking Green Bay Packers.
And Green Bay Packers.
You know what I'm talking about, man. You have two coaches that are available. It's Nick Saban over here, and then who's the coach for Arkansas?
Arkansas.
Exactly. The coach for Arkansas. You can have Nick Saban or the coach for Arkansas, the Razorbacks.
And so
which
saying
one are you going to take?
Saban is Trump.
I'm just saying the flavor.
At least you didn't use a Francis Howell High School reference today.
I would have got that if you did. The other one, I wasn't getting
the
it.
Flavor, the texture of this thing is, you just can't. I'm sorry.
So you're saying Vivek is tasteless?
No, I'm saying they're all a
Sitting at the
side-
children's
They're
table.
all a side dish to a porterhouse steak that has
filet mignon, baby.
Filet mignon that is perfectly charred and perfectly presented.
Yeah.
Everybody else is French fries or a broccoli platter.
Broccoli platter. Yes. I don't disagree
and
with
Chris
the word you
Christie
said about
is
that.
asparagus.
No, Chris Christie is a big donut that the cream inside leaked out everywhere with a spew of hate
With asparagus
With a
sauce
spew
inside.
of asparagus sauce.
in
Yuck.
the inside.
It's just time. I feel like last night I felt, that's why I wanted to come in here, is because I felt like last night was this epiphany of, look, it's either time, it's time.
And we broke down last night a lot during our first hour too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
No,
did.
I know.
Yeah,
Right.
no, I was just reminding people that if they were wondering, we did a lot if they were just coming into the show.
Yeah, if you're
as
just
well.
coming in, go back and listen to the first hour for sure.
And you can do it with all of our shows at canceltheshow.com.
I don't think it's over, but I do think that, man, the starters just got the star is like, please report to the starting line, and it's Trump and it's Biden, and that's it.
Yep.
Now whether Biden can,
There's no way. I don't think Biden's running.
Biden might be like Aaron Rodgers and run one play and blow an ankle, but I mean, that's the only thing I can think of.
He's got a trip for sure.
Speaking of which, not that it was a big ordeal, but yesterday I accidentally clicked something. That was me, Joe.
Freaking me out.
I put my hand down and went, on our show. Pat McAfee came back out again. We've been covering this over the week. Pat McAfee came out yesterday, and by the way, he and Aaron Rodgers are like best of friends.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, well, I'm glad Aaron's not going to be on the show anymore because ESPN made an announcement. But guess what? The season's over.
So
Aaron Rodgers only talks to him during the season. So ESPN tried to make it look like they canceled him, and then Pat McAfee might have been given some orders. And he's like, well, I'm glad because this has become a bigger issue. We're not talking sports anymore. We're getting into politics and health, and I don't want to do that. How much you want to bet Aaron Rodgers will be back for Pat McAfee next year?
What's your percentage on that?
Guarantee it. He'll be back.
It's not even.
So, because I had a couple of people message me yesterday and say, oh, they ended up canceling on me. I'm like, well, kind of, but not really, because that was his last scheduled segment anyway.
I didn't realize that. So that puts a different spin on it.
It's a good show too. It's very interesting when he goes on there, and I think it was
because you have somebody who's willing to stand up to the elites, especially the Hollywood elites, like Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah.
And speaking of that, because I know we got people who get pissed off at the NFL that are on the show. I was told it wasn't extremely difficult to get the Chiefs on at Wenty's. They are going to be on at Wenty's Saturday night.
Nice. Okay.
They just told me, Ben and Marley just told me that it was super expensive.
What?
Oh, wow.
Super expensive.
For Peacock?
Yeah, it was super expensive to get the rights and to do it to get the TV, which is why
bull crap.
Which is why Lester's in Ladue, which is a great restaurant, they do a ton of business, said that they're not going to have it.
Wait.
So it's super expensive. So if you're looking to watch somewhere at a great place,
event.
Go to one of our advertisers, Wenty's, on Saturday night.
That was nice to spin that into a commercial, but
it's not even a Super Bowl.
Here's the deal.
I could do that for a lot of other companies if they
can.
partner with us.
I know, but here's the deal. It usually is on CBS or Fox or NBC or ESPN,
Peacock.
and it's free. Man, it's okay. Stream it if you want. I think that's dumb. But don't charge a licensing fee because you're putting it inside of your establishment.
Yeah.
When it's usually free.
So if you have Peacock, like if you have that app, then the game is on there?
Yeah. You have to
already have the app.
Yeah, as long as you have a subscription to Peacock.
Okay, but if you don't,
But if you want to be out, if you want to go to a bar,
show.
if you want to be with other Chiefs fans, you got to find the right bar because not all of them are going to have it.
Most of them don't.
You could go out for dinner, drinks with friends, and expect a game to be on, like Eric said. But this is what's happened with streaming. And because Peacock and streaming has become so popular and so rich, they can pay $110 million for the game. And the NFL says, are you kidding me? Hell yeah. We already dominate. We're the number one sport in America. We have the highest ratings. We just destroyed the NBA on Christmas Day by a 5-1 margin of viewers. We can do whatever the hell we want to do because we're the NFL. Now, some people say, you know what? I'm going to boycott the NFL. And you're more than welcome to. I said, that's my guilty pleasure is football. And I know it's rigged.
It is rigged. And not to mention, you don't even know where to put your money.
That's my humble opinion.
Right.
You don't even know where to put your money because Amazon Prime has NFL football
because streaming is, Eric, life changes.
Yeah, but that's another $40
As you like to say,
you
the Model T was never going to stay around forever. You have to adjust with the time.
I understand that, but content
streaming is on its way, and it's where it's going to be. Local news is dying. Local TV stations are dying.
I stream, and I
stream.
I want to say that I believe that. I don't think so because there's still
not totally.
There's local issues that still have to come across on your local
Correct.
news.
I agree.
Yep.
It's just the amount of money
Yeah.
that commercials are bringing in are not what they once were.
And streaming is cool as hell, but when you turn on your TV and there's 42 apps up there and you're like, I don't even know what any of these things do.
It takes some
I was
time
like,
to get used to
Peacock.
it.
I was like, Peacock. I thought this was like waterfowls.
Well,
or
and it's
something
not
like that.
cheaper. People went to those apps because having cable was so expensive. And now if you have 4 of these apps, it's the same price as cable.
Well, I use YouTube TV. Do you know what that is?
I do.
And it
I
is
do.
now moved into being more expensive than
Yes.
Spectrum. And I'm like, oh, I got in on this thing because it was cheaper and better.
Yep.
Now it's more expensive and you get less.
Correct.
So
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
I think I found somebody after your soul, Eric. Todd says, I just love my digital antenna. I'll watch Sanford and Son.
Yeah.
Right?
Give me
Right?
give me MASH every now and then.
Oh my God, I'll pass. Abe reminds us, I get all the games and no monthly fees. I keep telling people, but people are skeptical. Google Octastream.
Oh, damn. What's that?
Google. I'm not even familiar with Google Octastream.
I don't
And we
even
try
know
to
what
help
that
as many
is.
people as we can in a variety of subjects here. And as Bendy says, bait and switch. I don't know exactly what that's referring to.
Well,
but
just that people went to the apps and it's a bait and switch. You got rid of cable, you go to the apps, and now having several apps is the same cost or more than cable.
I can tell you this: Spectrum, AT&T, Direct, they're doing fine.
Yep.
People are still getting their cable. They're still getting their apps.
Mhm.
Sometimes you don't even know what you're paying for. You have double. It's
Here's a little
insane what's
tip
going
you
on.
can tell people. If you want to still get your Spectrum, you can now change it from cable to streaming, and you can have a streaming app of Spectrum and get Cancel the Show on there. Just learned that last night.
Okay, you're going to have to say that for the slow people like me.
Okay, so
Again, please.
So if
what was
you have,
that?
so if you get cable, it's very expensive. So we figured out a way to still have cable, but not pay the cable costs. We bought it. Spectrum now has a streaming app, so you get everything you would have on cable, but it's now on an Apple or an app. And if you ask Alexa through Spectrum, you can get your shows. You can even get Cancel This on there.
How much is it?
It's cheaper if we bundled that with our phone. And our, like our cable, and you put it on streaming, and then you put your internet.
Yeah.
I don't know what the total cost is, but it's like well under $200. Well under.
So you still have a landline?
No, it's our cell phone.
Oh, okay. They do that. Yeah, they do that too.
Who uses a landline?
I don't have a
My
landline.
parents.
My mother-in-law still has one too.
No, I know on maybe a hand.
This is what it must have been like when they said you cannot tie your horse up to the general store anymore because we have cars.
Yeah.
Screw you and your cars. The horse is never going to go out of style.
Right. And then now we're talking between gas and electric. My goodness, wouldn't you love to know what those pilgrims thought about this if they now saw we're fighting over gas cars or electric cars?
Hey, before we get out of here today, I want to, because we still have a lot of people who are watching, listening, and I was wanting to do it at the beginning of the show. But Lizzie, you've dove into this, and I appreciate it because I know you put a lot of time into it. And I wanted to say just how good our listeners are, our viewers are, and we appreciate it. But you've been looking at some of the numbers.
I have.
Can you give a synopsis of that?
I can give a synopsis, and I even broke it down, and Vic, you'll be getting it after the show, that I broke down our show. And this is so profound, listeners. It's so awesome. Okay, so we are the number one streaming, I didn't say radio because we're not on radio. We are the number one streaming show in St. Louis. Now, we're number one in many other places here, but here's how profound and big our show is. So when you break down analytics, and I'm really getting into analytics, when you break down our show is 2 hours a day. That's it. When you check streaming platforms compared to radio or anything like that, they stream from 6 a.m. to 10 or midnight. Our show kicks their asses by over 50%. And in many cases, more than that. So when you break the analytics down, that if we were also on radio, oh my gosh, the numbers would be extraordinary. I was shocked.
Maybe we will be.
And so we put it down. So I broke it all down and this also includes our streaming. We have more people that watch after the fact, and they watch on audio only podcasts. So we have like 48% of our listeners listen on audio podcasts after the fact. Our littlest group of listeners are live. However, they're getting bigger every day. But just so you know, and I can back it up with proof, if anyone that needs to see it, we're the number one streaming show in St. Louis.
That's awesome.
That's good.
Yeah.
Damn. Thank you.
Yeah.
You're
So
awesome.
it's pretty impressive when you check out the percentage.
And it's because of you guys.
It's because of our listeners.
Chiming in, and we love it. And we ask for you to be a part of the live cast every day, to like, subscribe, share the show, check out all the platforms. We started small. We're trying to get big. We think we're doing something good. We work the show day in, day out, 24 hours a day, trying to bring the best that we possibly can. So if you know of any companies, if you know businesses that want to do business together, advertise, let us know. Lizzie at canceltheshow.com, Vic at canceltheshow.com. And then, of course, we can do the best that we can, because guess what? It's not cheap and expensive bills, and people deserve a whole lot more. So we're trying to do what we can. And we just want to, it's not just like patting ourselves on the back and saying thank you for being a supporter of the show for a year now.
Yes. Without the listeners, we could not have done it.
Now
we could not have done it. And
that's not ripping anybody else.
No,
it's just
it's
for
great.
us.
It's just us, but we focus on streaming. We focus on it. So that's why we're so proud of that. There's so many other good shows too. So we are not dissing any other shows.
Well, it's
They're
like
good.
You guys just had a 5-minute diatribe about Spectrum and all these, and Peacock and all this stuff. It's like, it just proves that the NFL, the people who know the real numbers, that's the thing.
Yeah, no,
they
the
know
real
where,
numbers.
They know where the audiences are.
Yes.
$110 million.
Sorry, you're not throwing that
one
kind
game.
of money. Yeah, I mean, it's so not just the one game, but the Chiefs with the Dolphins in Kansas City. That's a big deal.
Yes.
We're not talking about Baltimore down at Jacksonville.
Right.
Come on, man.
That's true. That's true.
And we appreciate that. Eric, thanks for coming in today, my friend.
I'm so excited.
It's good to have you. The EJ energy.
We love the EJ energy, and our chat line says it too. They feel like, the whole, when Eric's here, they feel like
big E energy.
This is just, you come in here just to decompress. Like
we're your counselors.
It's like definitely.
We love it.
I got something to
psychologist.
say.
Yeah.
And if you got something to say,
Joe will become your psychiatrist. Just go see him. He'll take care of you.
How creepy would that
be? He'll have a prescription for you.
I'll write you a script.
Yes.
Straight from Route 66.
It's good, man. It's good. I tell you what, streaming media and shows like this, and it's just a reflection. All we're doing right now is we're not trying. I don't feel like I'm trying to change a mind, but I'm just trying to reflect on what's going on right now and document and how can we be thinking like this as a country?
Correct.
And if we're all thinking like this, and I stand corrected, but I don't think we are.
No.
I think Trump is going to win the nomination, and I'm very interested now. Vic, thanks a lot for showing me this one. Barack Obama saying, if you're an illegal alien, go vote. Oh, it's not constitutional. Don't worry about that. But they're not going to come chase you down. Good night, everybody. I'll be here all week.
Eric Johnson, thanks for coming in. Guys, thanks for listening today. Tomorrow's the Free for All Friday. Working on some things. We'll keep you posted. Thanks for joining us. As always, have an awesome day. So for Eric Johnson here today, Pro Joe, Lizzie Sparks, I'm Vic Faust. Thanks for watching the fastest 2 hours in podcasting. Cancel This. Remember, you can check out all of our shows on canceltheshow.com. Have an awesome day.